This is one of the creepier concerts that I've ever seen placed on YouTube. It's not scary until you really think about it. It's just kind of creepy. There's a 1,500 seat theater that is packed to the brim with people. They're wearing their nicest and most formal outfits. It looks like they're watching the theater, the orchestra, a symphony. Men in black suits, ties. Women are in just full-length dresses, gowns. Not a single hair is out of place on any of them, and they're all back straight, staring, deadpan, blank face, dead eyes, staring at the stage in front of them. You would think that they are watching paint dry with their reactions. And there's this huge screen. Fruit is flying across the screen. Are you opening a snack very quietly right now? You think that I cannot hear you very quietly opening your snack? No, this concert, they have this giant screen, a flat screen in the front, and it's just fruit flying around. It reminds me of those baby sensory videos that Sophie used to watch. You know, the ones where the blueberries, the corn, they have cute little blushing faces and they float around to upbeat music? It's like Fruit Ninja, but for babies. That's what it looks like. That's what the screen is giving. And in front of that screen, you see 4 girly pops in what looks like corporate America office attire. They are not dressed like office sirens, but they genuinely look like they work at the corporate headquarters of Home Depot. They're beautiful, but their outfits are not giving performance. They're giving modest. They're giving, ooh, we're a little scared. You could wear this in front of your boss, your corporate boss. These are the types of outfits you would wear for an expensive presentation. I know someone's gonna comment like, no, bitch, please get a job. We can't wear those in the corporate office. Have you seen those TikToks? There's TikToks of people who have clearly never had a job. Okay, I'm not making fun of them, myself included. I have had jobs, okay? I've had retail jobs, not corporate jobs. But they're like, inspo for your corporate office outfit, and like half their ass cheek is hanging out. And all the comments are like, please get a real job. Thank you. So, yeah. No, I get it. It's not exactly office attire, but you get what I'm saying. It's not giving sexy office siren giving a performance. It's not giving concert. It's just a little bit interesting. The comments read, their outfits look like they're ready to defend their thesis. but these girly pops are not out here getting their PhDs. No, they're singing and dancing. They are giving their all to this performance, even though the crowd is not. The crowd is not giving back the same energy. They're dancing like their lives depend on this shit. Because one netizen comments, their lives actually depend on this shit. The girlies on stage are not just any performers. They are one of the biggest K-pop groups of all time, Red Velvet. And they're not just performing on any stage. They're performing in Pyongyang in front of the one, the only supreme leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un.
Now, how did this happen?
Now, I am feeling a little sentimental for this one, a little emotional, because it just goes to show that everybody needs a friend. Whether you're a politician or just a girl, whether you're new money or old money, whether you have healthcare or not. I don't. Okay, everybody needs a friend. I'm just thinking maybe, just maybe, the real friends were the Raycons that you found along the way. Because who needs best friends when you have Raycons? Why am I telling you about Raycons right now in the middle of this very serious, intense video? I'll tell you why. Raycons just got a major update. They upgraded from being my best friend to being my bestie. That's premium friendship status with premium audio quality for only half the price. The new Raycon model is better at literally everything. They improved the old features, added new features, even the casing. Look at the casing. It's so sleek, so unique. They have colors that complement every skin tone. You can choose from 4 unique colors. The earbuds themselves have an improved ergonomic design. They don't hurt my tiny holes. They're really tiny and tight, by the way.
Can confirm.
Even after hours of use, they have a new feature with multi-point connectivity, which means you can pair your Raycons to 2 devices at once. I do it all the time. I pair them with my iPad and my phone at the same time. Catch me watching Netflix on my iPad while scrolling TikTok on my phone. That's what you call a low attention span. That's genuinely what you call not wanting to face the silence in your own head and your own demons and have negative self-talk. Sometimes I just want my peace. earbuds. That's where the noise cancellation comes in. The old Raycons had noise isolation, which I love, by the way, but the new Raycons, this feels like free therapy. I just pop them in. I watch my little K-drama daddy in peace. I just watch videos of my husband. Just kidding. And to top it all off, the new Raycons also have a quick charge function. If you're just ever getting ready for a walk or a drive, you suddenly realize you forgot to charge your Raycons, no problem. With the quick charge function, you can get 90 minutes of playtime after charging them for only 10 minutes. 10 minutes, you're out the door. Raycons are also waterproof and sweat resistant. The new model is also dust proof, which honestly, I feel like that's a feature. Girlies, now is the time to check out Raycons. You need to upgrade your earbuds from friend level to bestie level. Now is the perfect time because you can use my code to get a discount on the already affordable prices. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/bis to get 15% off your Raycon purchase plus free shipping. That's buyraycon.com/BISS for 15% off your Raycon purchase plus free shipping. Thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring today's video. And let me tell you about Kim Jong-un and his friends, his best friends. I'm definitely on a watch list. I know for a fact. When I first saw this video of Red Velvet performing, the whole situation is giving the vibes of Kim's father, Kim Jong-il, when he kidnapped a whole actress to film a movie. And also the girl group Red Velvet has 5 members, but only 4 of them are performing on stage. The 5th member, Joy, is nowhere to be seen. Is Joy okay? Has anybody checked up on Joy? With the other girls, they continue on like this was always the plan. This was part of the plan. They're performing 2 of their top songs, Red Flavor and Bad Boy. Now, I did look up their usual performance of the songs to fully get the vibes. Red Flavor is this super happy, it's a bop, by the way. It's an upbeat song, and the visual is giving that. The girls are always dressed in these bright colors, orange, yellow, greens, in crop tops, mini skirts. They're heavily accessorized with dangly earrings and headbands. And after comparing the videos closely, I can honestly say Red Velvet looks like they're giving their all on the stage. They're working all their steps. They're hitting all their notes. If there is a place to slack in their performance, North Korea is not one of those places, because if they fork up just one time, I don't know what would happen to them. I don't know. And while the girls are shimmying on stage, whenever the camera, you know how the cameras love to pan to the audience and they're always screaming like, ah! You see some of the super ones like VIP section crying. I would cry if I was watching Red Velvet. I would literally cry. But you see all of them stone cold faces.
Are they bopping their head?
No.
No bopping?
No bopping. Nothing. Just staring. They're not trying to risk their lives.
How many people's in the audience?
1,500. Not a single one is clapping. Not a single one is humming. Not a single one is bopping, because they can't risk their lives like that. If they've heard this song before, no, they haven't. Because South Korean music is banned in North Korea. So, you know this song? No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Don't you even whisper the lyrics in your head.
Who are these girls? Don't know them.
Who are these girls, truly? And them and their families could be sent to a labor camp if they even look like they know the rhythm of the song. They should act like this is a weird beat. I've never heard beats like this, but I wouldn't even know how to move to this. This is my first time. One comment on the video reads, "This is the reaction me and my cousins get when we perform our self-choreographed K-pop dances for our grandparents at the family reunion." which is bringing me back a lot of memories. But also, did your parents make you perform? I was free entertainment at parties. Okay, another reads, "Red Velvet is singing, 'Bet You Wanna Dance Like This,' and the audience is stunned into silence." Now, I did notice that there is one girl in the audience, and she's smiling. She's not bopping her head, but she's smiling.
She the only one?
Yeah, do you think she's okay? Is what we want to know. No, people in the comments are genuinely concerned for her. But maybe she's important, right? She's got to be important. If she's got a close-up on the camera and everything, I feel like she's got to be somebody important. And from a different angle, you see what the girls are seeing in the audience. Just pitch blackness with no light sticks, no movements, not a single smile in sight. It's basically a black ocean, but not because they suck or that these are anti-fans. They're literally just, everybody's terrified for their lives right now. Both sides.
What about Kim Jong-un?
Oh, it seems like he's having a good time. There's not many close-ups of him at all. But apparently, allegedly, he a fan of Red Velvet. We're gonna get there, okay? But which side note, I did see a TikTok recently talking about concerts in Japan. And I heard a lot of artists, even K-pop artists, but American artists, they said they're always startled when they go to Japan because the entire stadium will be packed and nobody is screaming unless it's appropriate. So you feel like they fucking hate you, but that's actually how they show respect because they want to hear your vocals. There's no singing or screaming. Everybody sits down and enjoys the show. I would cry, which is completely different here in the US. I feel like we're crying, throwing up because we're so excited to be there. Like it's essentially a mini party for everyone. I would say South Korea is somewhere in the middle. So that's what Red Velvet is used to. And I'm sure they've had international tours. And now nobody's moving. Nobody's clapping. Nobody's doing this side to side swaying. Nothing. One comment reads, Coachella this, Coachella that. How many people can say their faves performed in North Korea on the world's scariest stage with not a single fan present? So when Red Velvet...
I thought Kim Jong-un was a fan.
Okay, because listen, when Red Velvet finishes their first song, the crowd remains silent. Okay, they clap a little. Just kidding, okay? They do clap a little. And the girls take a moment to say hi to the crowd. And the 4 girls are standing in a line on stage. And Irene, I love Irene, she picks up her microphone and she speaks to the people of North Korea. And it feels like I don't know how she handled this so well, but she could barely breathe. Because she just danced her heart out and she sang live vocals. And she says, it's an honor to see Red Velvet at the Pyongyang concert. First of all, you may all be unfamiliar with the charm of Red Velvet. Red of Red Velvet is a combination of intense red, and velvet of Red Velvet is a combination of softness. It means that Red Velvet will show you a variety of songs and dances. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Just one moment, please. And the crowd starts clapping really loudly.
오늘 감사합니다.
This is the only time the crowd reacts to the girl group is when Irene is out of breath and trying to catch her breath. I don't know if it's because they find Irene cute, but one of the netizens comments, Red Velvet dances like queens. Audience, that's alright. Irene breathes. Audience, wow. She's so cute. And they just start clapping. And
Maybe
some people...
like, it's relatable. They're like, oh, you're out of breath?
Same. I can't breathe either. No, some people say that Kim Jong-un allegedly might have started the clapping. And you only clap when the supreme leader be clapping. And allegedly, Irene is his bias. So Irene catches her breath and continues with her speech. Today, thank you. Starting with this stage today, I hope I have more opportunities to meet with you, and it's an honor to be able to stand on this stage and sing our songs. There are more wonderful performances waiting for you after this. I hope you guys have a good time today, and thank you. And they bow. Now, just by the applause from that speech alone, I do feel like she is Kim Jong-un's bias because everyone says he's supposedly a huge, huge fan of Red Velvet.
Wait, for North Korea, the Korean language dialogue, is it like a different accent or is it almost the same? Do you know that?
I think there's a different accent and I think some words are different. But I don't think it's so different where you cannot understand from what I know. Actually, a lot of people I know, their families were technically geographically in North Korea before the war broke out. So it doesn't seem like there's that big of a difference in the dialect.
Right, so just a couple generations ago, right?
Yeah. Now, some people said Kim Jong-un is an 아저씨 fan. Oh, yeah. And someone commented that, those are not my words, Supreme Leader. Please don't come for me. But 아저씨 fans are kind of controversial. They're basically middle-aged men who stan K-pop idols. But sometimes it's controversial because it's kind of gross, you know? Like, for one, these uncle fans are getting older, and the K-pop girlies are only getting younger. Some are just pervy, and they count the minutes until their biases turn 18, and they have photo cards. I love photo cards, but if I'm a 50-year-old man, I don't think I should be having a photo card. Some netizens say that uncle fans are usually rich and have dreams of becoming sugar daddies for these K-pop idols. Most people argue that 아저씨 fans have underlying sexual desires for these young girls, so obviously it's skeptical, to say the least. Some people just say 아저씨 fans could also just have a lot of country pride these days. I don't know. But some, they just be proudly repping that 아저씨 fan title. They just love K-pop and they just be vibing. And I'm sure the Supreme Leader is doing that, right? I mean, I could see him in a crowd with a light stick, singing their fan chant. Like Born to be a Girly Pop, Forced to be a Dictator. Allegedly a dictator. Ooh. Okay, there's no clips of him in the video, obviously. But I just know Kim Jong-un is enjoying this performance. Afterwards, there is a photo that they take. And Kim Jong-un is in the center. His wife is on the left of him. 3 members of Red Velvet, the other 3 members, Yeri, Wendy, and Sugi, they're on the far left end, about 3 people away from the Supreme Leader. So there's like 3 people in between them and the supreme leader. But Irene is not standing next to the rest of her girl group. Instead, she's standing at the center of the photo, holding a bouquet of white lilies, standing on the other side of Kim Jong-un. But of course, she's smiling for her life because, her life depends on it, but she's trying to lean as far away from Kim Jong-un as possible. Her body is practically bent at a 90-degree angle to one side. She's like, okay, that's what she's doing. Kim just looks dead at the camera. It seems like Irene is his bias. Later, she does come out in an interview to clarify everything. And she says, no. I didn't even know a picture was being taken. It just happened so suddenly. And I was talking to some people on the other side of me. And he just happened to be there. I didn't even know I was standing next to him. Yeah. Which I kind of agree with. However, I think he tried to stand next to her is my suspicion, He's like, let me just waddle over there. Hurry, take a picture of me and my bias. You know what I mean? That's the vibe it's giving. Everyone is commenting. Doesn't look like there'll be any more war as long as Irene is here in South Korea.
Oh my gosh.
Another says, will we all be reunified thanks to Irene? These are some dark jokes, y'all. But many netizens would say, wow, I can't believe Irene just broke Kim Jong-un's heart like that, confirming she didn't even know she was standing next to him. Yeah, most netizens were just very grateful that Red Velvet was not kidnapped by Kim Jong-un. So I don't know. The bar seems very low for this one. I will say that Kim's stance on K-pop has seemed to change around the same time as this concert. So before this, Kim even had a North Korean girl group called Moranbong Band. I don't know what that means. They wore miniskirts. They performed using electric violins, cellos, and drums. I will say they're a little bit older and they wear very sparkly dresses. If I had to pinpoint exactly the vibe that this K-pop group gives me, or the North Korean group gives me, it's when your aunties perform at a Chinese wedding.
What?
It's the vibe. They're so good at singing, though.
My aunt?
No, the group. The lyrics, though, they go wild. They're really hardcore lyrics. Are you ready? Let's study for our country. Let's study for our future. We will make our land shine. Yeah. Comments read, meanwhile in South Korea,
You got me feeling like a psycho.
And then North Korea, let's study for our country. Ooh, yeah. Me,
I like K-pop.
my parents, look at this cool K-pop song. No, okay? South Korea,
Let's kill this love.
North Korea, let's study. Honestly, it's a bop. But in 2021, they were literally wiped from North Korean TV. So I don't know what happened. It might have been too crazy. The concepts, the lyrics might have been a little too salacious, sexual or something, okay? Shortly afterwards, Kim makes an announcement saying they are fighting a war on the spread of South Korean entertainment, even declaring a law that anyone found watching or possessing South Korean entertainment will be sentenced to 15 years in labor camps. Yeah. Now back to the photo. Everyone else in it, they're all South Koreans. He's taken a photo with a bunch of South Koreans. Red Velvet is not the only South Korean artist there. They came with like 9 other artists. All of them were sent by South Korea. South Korea sent some of their biggest artists to North Korea. Why? Because of the 2018 Winter Olympics. The ones that South Korea hosted. North and South Korea were pretty much trying to get friendly for this Olympics. Because North Korea, they forgot to enroll 2 of their hockey players into the Olympics. South Korea decides, you know what? Here's a crazy idea. What if they just join our team? What if they just join our team and just we play together?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They agreed?
They agreed. The 2 countries walked in the opening ceremony under the Korean unification flag.
Oh, wow.
Just like that. World peace. Not at all. Not at all. But you get what I'm saying. No, but I do think that both sides were trying to work their way towards peace. And it's such a big step for both countries that show their trust, and the performers were there to show their appreciation. North Koreans sent their Samjian orchestra to perform at the Olympics as like a thank you for sending their orchestra. South Korea decides to send like 10 of their artists to perform in Pyongyang. It was crazy. They were there for 2 days, April 1st to April 3rd, making it the first South Korean musical performance in North Korea since 2005. The lineup is crazy, by the way. I mean, these are huge names. All of these artists, they represent South Korea's musical culture, but people just had so many questions. Like, why was Red Velvet specifically chosen to go to North Korea? It's actually unknown why any of these artists were specifically chosen. It's not even revealed why Red Velvet was chosen out of all the girl groups. This is not someone being like, why Red Velvet? It should have been somebody else. They're just wondering, it feels random. That's why people came up with the conclusion that Kim Jong-un must be a fan.
More than why, I'm curious, like, did they have an option to
say no?
Like, is it like a volunteer system or is it a mandatory system? You know what I mean?
I don't think it was voluntarily done because a representative from South Korea was apparently in charge of preparing the performance, and he said, what I thought at the time was that a girl group representing South Korea should perform in Pyongyang, show something new, and show that we are good at this. Red Velvet was the only group that I knew the name of, and the band name is Red Velvet, and the song they sing was also Red Flavor, so that left an impression on me. So I said to the person preparing to recruit, I really want to cast Red Velvet. Please look into that. Essentially, Red Velvet is only sent to North Korea because an ajashi fan wanted them to represent the nation. That's it. Someone in the government chose Kim Jong-un. Or no. Someone in the government chose Red Velvet.
Someone chose Kim Jong-un to perform.
There's no special reason behind it. It's like South Korea sent these artists to North Korea on vibes and vibes alone. So only 4 of the Red Velvet members are sent to North Korea. Like, I can't even imagine what that phone call was like though. 여보세요? I have a lifetime opportunity for you. Yes, just once in a lifetime opportunity. Yes or...
Yes.
The reason why the 5th member of Red Velvet, Joy, is not sent with them is because she had scheduling conflicts. But that doesn't stop the netizens from commenting, you can find absolutely no joy in that performance, in that room. But at the end of the concert, all the South Korean artists come together on stage. They stand in a line of 17 people and they start a group performance. One final song. And this is the one and only time during the entire concert that the crowd of North Koreans actually have a reaction. They're clapping with the beat. They're swaying their bodies. They're waving their arms in the air and they're singing along to the song titled The Reunification of Korea. That's the song's name. And at the very end of the song, they all stand up with their arms in the air, clapping and cheering for the reunification of Korea. The comments read, their clapping is so synchronized. That's a beautiful moment. I'm literally tearing up right now. Yeah, but I guess Kim Jong-un's K-pop era did not last that long because North Korea is now sending balloons full of shit to South Korea, so not on friendly terms anymore, are we? But before he had his eyes set on the girlies, he actually had his eyes set on something or someone else. Because before this happened to Red Velvet, we're actually gonna go back to 2012, where, you ever been to Vienna? Same. I've never been. I wanna go. But there is this local by the name of Drow. He's a local chef in Vienna, and he is getting bombarded every single day. He's not a famous chef. He's just a random chef, okay? He's just a Portuguese chef that now works in Vienna at a restaurant. I mean, it's not like he owns the restaurant. It's not like he has a celebrity chef name. The closest he came to fame was working at a Michelin star restaurant. He's not Gordon Ramsay. He doesn't even really want to be. He's just looking to cook and not be disrupted by all these people. But randomly, these Asian people would come in. He doesn't know, okay? They're just Asian. They come in, they sit down, they order a meal, and they keep trying to talk to him. And they'll eat through their meal, stay, and just sit at the table. A group of Asian men just almost watching him, staring at him. And he's like, what is going on right now? I'm sick and tired of what's happening. Like, let me just do my job. So he's trying to leave. He's trying to close up the restaurant. And now the men are nowhere in sight. They're gone. That was weird, but they're gone. Next day, lunch rush. They're all sitting in the restaurant again. And at this point, he just wants them to be gone. He walks over to the table and he's like, can I help you? Like, what are you doing here? And they tell him, we were sent here for you, to get you. What do you mean? For me, the man, the myth, the legend, Kim Jong-un wants to see you.
Damn.
We come on behalf of the leader of North Korea. He is inviting you to dinner tomorrow at Pyongyang in North Korea. Zhao is like, what are you talking about? He tells the 3 men the same thing most of us would say. I have work tomorrow. what do you mean? Like, I can't just pack up my bags and fly 10 hours to see the supreme leader of North Korea. Are you kidding? That guy shits in a portable toilet.
Huh?
Let me...
What?
Okay, there is a conspiracy that anytime Kim Jong-un leaves North Korea, he shits in a portable toilet because he doesn't want the CIA officials or whatever intelligence agencies in the countries he's in to collect his poop. Because through poop, you can get a lot of stuff like DNA, potential diseases, health conditions. So he shits in a portable toilet and has his staff get rid of his shit. So... he's like, I don't want to go fly 10 hours to see a man who shits in a portable toilet, okay? A man who bans jeans because they're the epitome of Western ideology. A man who only allows 10 hairstyles for men. Did you know that? Here are your you go to a barber shop in North Korea, there's 10 pictures. You pick one. It's giving Sims from 2001. You get 10 hairstyles, that's it. Only 28 haircuts are allowed in North Korea. 10 for men, 18 for women.
Did you see one you liked though?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I'll circle the one I like, guys. Yeah, that's the one I think I would get. Yeah, guys, leave it in the comments which number you would get. Wait, I feel like this is highly inappropriate, but I do want to know. Okay. What happens if men lose hair?
What happens if a man lose hair?
Yeah. Have you ever seen a bald North Korean before? Exactly. Bald is not an option. It's not one of the 10. Anyway, this is what Drow looks like. He doesn't have an approved haircut. His
What does he look like?
You don't see? I'm just kidding. He's got some intense sideburns. They come down almost to his mouth area. Oh yeah. I mean, these men are persistent. They literally say, we will wait as long as necessary, but we cannot go back without you. Please, we literally cannot go back without you. So please say yes, because our lives are on the line and like we might not. My wife is actually being held hostage right now, so you need to say yes right now, please.
They said that?
No, they were just like, we're not leaving without you. Come on, chop, chop. I mean, I guess the guilt is eating him because the next day he's on a first-class flight to Beijing, China. Beijing, China
What?
is the only place you can catch a flight to North Korea at the time. So he makes a stop in Beijing. And I want to know what the vibe is on this flight. Like, are we feeling doom and gloom? Or are we feeling excited? Like, last-minute vacation? I don't know. I feel like it's got to be the first option, right? Because Zhao knows nothing about North Korea. Once he lands in China, he's immediately moved to a private North Korean plane chartered specifically for him. And he explains in an interview that he is distressed the entire time. He's scared of what's going to happen to him once he lands in North Korea. But the North Korean plane honestly does feel like every other plane. There's a flight attendant to ensure everyone is properly seated. It's just Zhao and the 3 men. And she comes up to Zhao and asks a very normal question. What would you like to drink, sir? Such a normal question. He doesn't even think twice about it. He's just like, can I get a Coke and rum? She looks at him. There is no Coke in North Korea.
She's like, what is Coke?
What is that? Zhao is panicking again because how did he not know that? What else does he not know? I mean, there could be some rules like clap your cheeks 10 times when you get off the plane in honor of the leader, and he wouldn't even fucking know. What? He wouldn't even fucking know. Then he could suddenly be sent to a camp where he would never see his family again. But when they land in Pyongyang, employees, bodyguards, captors? Question mark? You decide. They lead him out and immediately take him to the Emperor of North Korea's official residence. This place is so extravagant. This place, I mean, I've talked about it so many times, I feel like I've been there. It's got 3 different names. Its official name is Yongseong. But the second name is residence number 55. I don't know. Okay, now, I don't know if this is because it's Kim's 55th house or it's like a street address or he got it for his, I don't know how old he is, for his 55th birthday. I don't know. But the third is, allegedly what the Pyongyang locals call it, the Central Luxury Mansion. This house is built to withstand nuclear war. The area surrounding it has an electric fence, security checkpoints, and minefields to ward off any intruders. Imagine a poor bird landing on the grass getting blown up. It connects, allegedly, to important buildings through underground tunnels, but even comes with an underground train station. Where is that train station taking you? I don't know. Maybe to one of the other dozens of houses Kim has. But if you're looking at something to do at residence number 55, here are all the amenities. Banquet halls at the lakefront, swimming pool with a water slide, running track and athletic field, spa and sauna, shooting range, and a horse racing track. So Drow, he walks in. He can't help but look outside as they're driving to residence number 55, and he feels dread. Most of the city is dark. There's no lights. Nothing is on. When the limo stops, he's not escorted into residence number 55 through the front door. He's taken directly into a military building where he can see several military members standing on guard with weapons. He's taken into the tunnel, and at this point, I would be questioning my whole life. Like,
Oh, he's underground now.
yeah, I am just a chef. Truly. Yeah. The guards, they take him to what's supposed to be his room, and they say, change in 5 minutes. Afterwards, he's checked for any weapons or explosives, which obviously he's not going to have. He changes into a formal black suit and black tie, and now he's ready to meet the Supreme Leader. They come and grab him, and they walk him through the tunnel into this massive banquet hall. And in the center is this long table with 7 people all staring at him. And at the end of the table, the man of the house seat is the supreme gladiator of North Korea, Kim Jong-un. He stands up staring at Drow. This is a man who controls 26 million people's lives, okay? A man who had his uncle executed by a firing squad for being a, quote, despicable human scum. Yeah, it's a whole thing. The man that hides his own poops and allegedly had his half-brother killed. Remember that, okay? So this is him. And now all the other people at the banquet table are confused. Do we like Zhao? Do we not like Zhao? We're just 눈치 buying. We're just trying to gauge Kim Jong-un's reaction. Is he getting executed right now? Is that the entertainment of the show? What's happening? Kim gets up, walks over to Zhao. He's head to head with him. He could crush him, choke him, slap him. I mean, there's so many options. He could throw his porta potty poop at him. I don't know. But Kim does none of that. He hugs Zhao. He's like, my man. This my bestie, y'all.
Wait, what's going on?
Zhao is Kim Jong-un's childhood best friend.
Wait, what? Wait, does Jong know this?
Yes.
Oh. Wait, so he knows he's just here to see a friend?
Well, who's to say they're still friends? Who's
Okay.
to say anything? Zhao later said he felt such a relief after that initial meeting. Like, nothing had changed. The two of them, they met in middle school and it was just like that. I mean, just look at this photo. Zhao is on the far left side of the picture and little Kim Jong-un is in the center. When I saw this, I wanted to know, where is this from? Because it's obviously not North Korea. When I was researching this story, I fell down a rabbit hole where rich people send their kids to school. Where the old money, the royal families, the sons of the nation's leaders, they go to school. The top 5 most expensive schools are all in the same country, Switzerland.
Dang.
Rich families from all over the world attend these schools. I'm talking kids from China, Pakistan, Tanzania, Japan, literally all over the world are sending their kids to Swiss boarding schools. Those families, most of them are so rich, they're unknown. Being sent to a Swiss boarding school, they cost like $200,000 a year. For schools like the School of Kings, Le Rosey or something, which is also the most expensive school in the world, students spend their time studying along Lake Geneva. They learn how to horseback ride, hunt with a gun in a shooting range, and in the winter months, they have a second campus in a ski resort.
You know, remember those kids we saw in Switzerland? Like,
They look
our
so
wedding?
rich.
Oh, bro, those are the most bougie looking kids I've ever seen.
They just scream money.
Yeah.
And they're like 12.
I've never seen such old money on little kids.
Yeah. It was out of this
crazy,
world.
yeah.
I was like, can we switch lives, y'all? This is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and what the families are not getting their money's worth from the education. It's actually the alumni program that's the most sought after. It's the most exclusive secret club. These kids join the moment they get their diploma, and it's the alumni network, where alumni have to prove their credentials, give their student ID, set up a username and password, and the network contains a full directory of every alumni who's ever attended that school. And these are all kids of billionaires, likely. So you're like, oh my God, I have a new idea. How do I get it funded? Let me call up another billionaire's kid and get it funded through their daddy. But also, I'm a self-made billionaire. That's the vibe, okay? But little Kim Jong-un did not go to that school. Well, not for long. He did briefly, but not for long. Because he ends up in a regular public school in Switzerland. There's a reason that we've talked about. It's all going to come full circle. It's crazy. It's just a normal day in class, though. Joao was 12 at the time. The teacher hasn't started class yet. Kids are all talking and the door to the class slams open and the first thing Joao sees are a pair of brand new Air Jordans that cost $200. Like, this is not a private school. This is not a boarding school. This is a public school. New Jordans are a rare thing to see in this school. He's amazed. He looks up and sees this full set of a Nike tracksuit. I mean, I don't know about you. That's as American as it gets, buddy, okay?
It's giving me the PC Bun boys?
It's the kimchi squat.
The kimchi squat outside of PC Bun's chain smoking.
Yes. And he thought it was weird because everybody else is wearing jeans at the time. But the most surprising thing about this kid is not the Air Jordans. It's not the Nike tracksuit. It's not the pudding bowl haircut. It's the fact that he's Asian. He's the only Asian. I mean, the whole school, there's not a single Asian kid, really. On top of that, he's staring them down. Even though he's shorter than most of them, it feels like he's looking down at them, judging them. The teacher introduces the new kid. Guys, this is Un Pak. He is the son of North Korean diplomats who moved here for work.
Oh, so this is his fake ID.
Fake ID, yeah. He's still learning German, so please help him with settling in. Zhao is sitting in the back right corner of the class. There's an empty seat next to him. According to Zhao, no one wanted to sit next to me because I was the Portuguese student. So, yeah, the Asian had to sit next to me, basically. Like, they were like the two outcasts. Yeah. But Zhao kind of hates this new kid. He's the weird kid. You know, every class has that kid. You know which one I'm talking about? The one who wants to play cats on the playground? They crawl on all four legs and they snarl and they hiss at you and you're like, I don't want to play this anymore. This is getting weird. Yeah, no, my weird kid in school was a nightmare. Like, I genuinely still have nightmares about this kid, but I bet he's so cool now. But he was a little scary when I was younger because I wasn't used to how cool he was. It was new to me. It was fresh. It was fresh and fun, okay?
So you weren't the weird one?
No, they pick up like roaches and stuff and they study them.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
And then you're like, whew, that's weird, but I also need to be very nice to you because I'm scared. Anyway, but Pak instantly becomes that kid for this class. On top of that, I think a lot of kids were jealous of the Air Jordans and the tracksuit. I feel like everyone at that time wanted a pair of Air Jordans because Michael Jordan was and still is a GOAT, right? But even Zhao admits that he's annoyed by Pak. They would sit directly next to each other and they would take notes. And Kim would constantly do that thing where he would push his elbow so hard he disrupts Zhao's notebook.
Oh my God, that's so annoying.
And he's like, what is your deal, bro? Sometimes if Zhao is really annoyed, he would kick his leg to hit Pak under the table.
Zhao is kicking Kim Jong-un's leg?
I fucking bet 1,000% if that were me, that would be my shower thought every night. I'd be like, am I still safe? I know it's been 30 years. However, do I live another day? Yeah, exactly. I would be doing the dishes and that would be my intrusive thought. According to Zhao, the two of them are in the class for the academically weaker students because Zhao is bad at math, Pak because he doesn't know German, and they would just get angry because frustrated, they don't understand. Zhao does say that Pak is very smart. He just doesn't know German. So he knows all the answers to the questions. He just gets frustrated because he doesn't know how to say it in German. And I guess Zhao kind of understands the feeling because both of them start working together. Pak would help Zhao with his math and Zhao would teach Pak German. Yeah, and the two would go onto each other's houses and do homework together, and this instantly moves to the two of them playing basketball together every day. I guess basketball is like a universal language, and that's all they do. That's how they become one of the boys in Switzerland together. This is so cheesy, but I feel like I kind of want it to be cheesy, but Zhao is pretty much the bridge to the rest of the class for Pak. Like, everybody thought Pak is mean and weird, and honestly, they're not wrong, but he starts getting more friends. One classmate said, yeah, I mean, he was funny and always good for a laugh.
Kim Jong-un is good for a laugh?
Good for a laugh as in, to laugh at.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they would make fun of him and laugh at him.
No.
And they would say that after class, he would be the first one on the basketball court. Like, you know when kids be getting sweaty and then their hair is sticking to their head and they just be playing basketball and their face is all red and then they take a moment to break and then they drink water and when they're drinking water, they're like... And then you're like, oh, bruh. I mean, that was me when I was 12 as well. However, it's not that serious. Please take it easy, okay? That would be Kim Jong-un at the basketball. He he would have a Chicago Bulls jersey that had Michael Jordan's number 23 on the back, shorts, and still have Air Jordan shoes that none of the other kids would have. Even though he's only 5'7", everyone could tell that he's actually a pretty good player. Yeah, he is a sore loser though, they said. They said he was a fiercely competitive player, very explosive. He was a playmaker. He made things happen. I don't know what that means. In one classroom photo, Zhao can be seen in an oversized yellow tee and blue jeans, and one of his classmates is play choking him, and he's making a funny face, and Kim Jong-un is just staring at the camera. But at this point, those two besties for the resties, okay? And Zhao would even eat lunch with Kim Jong-un every day. Yeah, with Kim every day. Zhao's dad would even make these lunch boxes for Kim Jong-un to eat. And after school, Zhao would be like, hey, Kim. Well, he didn't call him that, but you get it. Hey, Kim, you want to come over to my house? And his dad is a chef. Zhao's dad is a chef. And he would be making all these authentic Portuguese dishes that Kim has never tried in his whole freaking life, okay? But there was one day where Zhao's dad makes a Portuguese dish that's made up of potatoes. And it's basically a dish that's considered a meal where you take a bunch of leftover ingredients and throw it in to make a yummy dish out of it, right? Kim is sitting down at the dinner table with his friend, takes a bite, and he says, this one really sucks.
What the f?
So the two of them, they sneak to the pantry, tiptoe their way over, they leave the food on the table, and they just eat snacks all day. When Zhao's dad comes to the dining room later and he finds that all of his food is untouched and there's empty packets of cookies on the ground, and the two boys are now playing games trying to not look at him, he starts scolding them. He starts yelling at both of them. He's like, and you come over to my house, I work on this meal, look at all the vegetables I put in this meal, and you don't eat it? He's yelling at Kim Jong-un.
Wow.
At one point, Kim Jong-un invites Zhao to come to his house too. Now, for Zhao, going to Kim's house was an experience. Not because he knows anything about him. He thinks he's a diplomat's son. But he f***ing loaded. Okay, he walks into the house and it's pretty much a normal looking house from the outside. It's a 3-story brick building, but only 10 minutes away from the North Korean embassy. It looks like any other regular family home, but once you go inside, it's crazy. From the outside, it looks like an apartment building built for 6 families. So 6 separate units. So he's assuming, okay, they live in one of the units. No, they live in all 6 of the units. What's going on? I mean, this is a huge deal. And his entire closet, Kim's entire closet, is just Nike sneakers, his PlayStation, his DVDs, okay? He's got an entire collection of movies. Now, here's the puzzling thing. He's like, how the fuck did this random son from a diplomat get movies on DVD that aren't even released in theaters yet? Imagine you go to your friend's house and they've got a Marvel Avengers movie that was not released yet. It's releasing in 3 months, and you know it's releasing in 3 months.
He's from the future. Like,
exactly. Wait. His walls are filled with posters of the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, just all over the place. When Zhao would stay for dinner, there was a private chef who would cook for them, and he's like, I'm starting to think you a little different, my friend. You're a little different. Okay? They would eat Korean barbecue every single night. Yeah. They would
damn.
play. Yeah.
They're living good.
Side note, if you ever wanted to know who Kim Jong-un's childhood crush is, it's Sophie from the James Bond movie. She's beautiful, and she has a picture of her laying on the couch, and I think he really likes that picture. Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying she's gorgeous, but also imagine somewhere out there, the supreme leader has a crush on you. That's crazy. That's crazy. And Zhao just... There would be these moments. For example, Kim after school one day was like, hey, do you want to come hang out with me after school? And he's like, yeah, let's go. They get into the car because Kim has a driver. And he's like, hey, take us to the water park in Zurich. This is an hour-and-a-half trip. And on top of that, it's a weekday. What do you mean? We got school tomorrow. We can't just go to a water park with no adults. But the driver starts driving to the water park, and Zhao is like, you are the coolest best friend I've ever had in my fucking life. Are you kidding? You're so cool. And then one day, Zhao is 16 and he gets a call from Kim, and Kim is like, can you come to my house? Zhao runs over, ready for anything that they're going to do. Are they going to the water park? Are they watching the new Jackie Chan movie that has not even come out in theaters yet? What are they doing? But Kim is like, no, shh, I just want to talk. He's looking very serious. I mean, as serious as you can look in a full Nike tracksuit. So he's sitting there and he tells Zhao, I am not the son of North Korean diplomats. I'm actually the son of the president of North Korea, Kim Il-sung.
My name is Kim Jong-un.
Okay. Okay.
What do you mean?
That's Zhao's reaction. Okay.
He doesn't care?
He doesn't believe him.
Oh.
Kim Jong-un reaches and grabs a photo.
That's the president of North Korea. That's me. I am his son.
Okay, I don't even know what the fucking president of North Korea looks like. Okay.
So he just thinks he's joking.
Yes, and he just leaves. So that's his whole vibe. After this talk, Zhao goes home telling him, I'm gonna see you at school tomorrow. Goodbye. And the next day, Kim does not come to school. And he waits, watching people come in through the classroom door. Kim does not come. That seat remains empty. At this point, Zhao is questioning, wait a minute, is this a coinkydink that he just told me last night that he's the son of the North Korean leader and now he's not showing up to school? He feels betrayed because that's his best friend forever. His for lifer, you know what I mean? But Kim just really upped and left. Zhao is angry if this is true. He tells reporters, I was actually really pissed off at him because friends just don't disappear from each other's lives like that. After school, Zhao runs to Kim's house. No one's there. His parents aren't there. His older siblings aren't there. Even the private chef and employees, all gone.
They moved out?
They're gone.
Wow.
At 12 years old, okay, so just to backtrack. At 12 years old, Kim Jong-un was sent to Switzerland to live with his aunt and uncle, where they pretended to be his parents, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so his brother and sister were also sent there, and the entire family would live as the Pak family, and they had no bodyguards to watch over them because that's weird, right? But they were sent to some really good boarding schools. But then all of a sudden, the aunt and uncle, they deflect. They move to Manhattan. They move to America. They go with the CIA and they say, bye, bitch. Goodbye,
Right,
my nephew.
They escaped, right?
They escaped, yeah. They escaped mainly because Kim Jong-un's mom started passing. She got really sick and she passed away. And she was actually their connection. So I'm assuming it's like her sister.
Ah, those are moms.
So they're like,
Aunt.
And I believe at that point, they're just feeling like, we're going to fall out of favor soon. Is the hypothesis, the theory of why they deflected. Or they could have deflected because they realized, this is a dictatorship. I don't know, right? But after that, he can no longer go to these boarding schools because the boarding school communities are pretty small. And you can't just be like, actually, those aren't his parents. He's got new parents. Like, it would be weird. It would be weird because people would catch on. These boarding schools, they all kind of know each other. Switzerland's not the biggest country in the world. And these boarding schools, the upper elites, I'm sure they all get a vibe, right? So they decide, okay, we need to bring in new adults that act like his parents.
New parents.
And then he probably just has to go to a public school. So then that's how he ends up at the public school, meets Zhao, and then eventually North Korea is like, hey, you're 16 now. Come on, time to come back home to North Korea.
Wow.
So he tries to tell his bestie,
And
hey,
Basti didn't believe him.
no.
Wow.
But what's crazier is that 3 months pass where Kim does not show up to school, but he does make a call to Zhao to say one thing. Meet me at our usual spot. 3 months later.
What's the
I feel
spot?
like they're gonna kiss. No, I'm just kidding. It's a spot in the park. This is like their hangout spot. I think they would smoke cigarettes there. Yeah. And they would say their goodbyes. So it seems like now he knows. That's my boy. And before he leaves, Kim asks Zhao, what are your plans for your future? And he says, I'm gonna be a chef like my dad. And they leave each other. The two 16-year-old boys are convinced they're never going to see each other again. And for the next 10 years, they don't. Because they're so focused, following in their dad's literal footsteps, both of them. And the next time they meet will be in 2012 in Kim Jong-un's house. And Kim hugs Zhao. He feels right at home. It seems like Kim tries his best to make it feel familiar for Zhao. Kim has some of his family members there. His fake parents. So they're alive.
The Switzerland parents?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's like a little family reunion, it feels like. The entire evening, the two are joking. Kim tells Zhao, you're getting fatter. And Zhao, with no hesitation, no fear, so are you. And everyone's frozen.
Damn.
They talk about sports. Zhao brings up how Portugal, Zhao's home country, beat North Korea in the South African World Cup for soccer. Kim makes a face. He actually looks like he's going to be homicidal at that. Zhao doubts himself for a second. And he's like, wait. I was just kidding. I I was just kidding. It's not that serious. So we're not even that good at soccer.
We got lucky.
It's all about luck. We're not that great. Yeah, he was very nervous. Okay. Now, the feast they have is huge. They've got traditional Korean dishes. It's just so much going on. And after dinner, Kim was like, okay, well, come back as soon as possible. He flew to North Korea for one dinner, basically. He did go and sightsee afterwards without Kim. He had tour guides showing him around North Korea, and people were trying to take pictures with him. Yeah, like the locals. The story of their friendship had spread far and wide.
The story of their friendship. Whoa.
And then before he leaves, they play around a basketball. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. The whole visual of them speaking German in North Korea, playing basketball while Zhao is wearing a pair of blue jeans. They play for like an hour and it feels like back in Switzerland. They feel like kids again. And Zhao laughs, and at the end of the game, he says, I let you win because you're the president of this country. And Kim's face drops, and he drops the ball to the ground. And it just bounces quietly and echoes like bounce, bounce, bounce. And then he starts laughing.
He's like, do I? Nah. He's like, do I?
Oh, these intrusive thoughts are crazy.
Nah.
Not today, intrusive thoughts. This is my bestie. Come on. That's crazy. I'm so scared, okay? I don't know how Zhao does it. I would need to in a portable potty all day there. The trip is definitely more of a vacation for Zhao. But after another visit, Zhao is dropped from the bestie list because Kim Jong-un develops a new bestie. Dennis Rodman.
Oh, is he?
The basketball player who played for the Chicago Bulls?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the one. I act like I know anything about basketball. I only know because of my North Korea research, honestly. I don't know anything about basketball. So this is not a dig at Dennis Rodman. It's a dig at me. He is a man who is in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He's like known as a really great player. He has a whole legacy, and he is ready to visit a new foreign country. Now, his post-NBA life, his agent signs him up for these exhibition games where you go to different countries and you start playing with their players. It's just fun. Like you teach, you coach, you have fun. It's just like a good time, right? And so this time the agent is like, hey, you want to go to Korea? He's like, yeah, I want to go to Korea. He's probably think about the 7-Eleven mukbangs. You know what I mean?
Wait.
Fast-paced, high-tech society? K-pop? Red Velvet? Let's go!
No way.
He was looking forward to his trip in Korea. Yeah. And then he lands.
Did they really say Korea?
Korea.
Okay.
He lands, and he goes, wait a fucking minute. Y'all sent me to North Korea? Okay, to be fair, I do think they clarified, but this was like during a time where the world politics was not as integrated into the news. So he was like, North Korea and South Korea are pretty much the same thing, right? It's like North Carolina, South Carolina. He's like, let's go. Who cares if it's North Carolina or North Dakota? He gets to North Korea and they roll out a red carpet for him and he gets down and he meets Kim Jong-un. So apparently Dennis Rodman was actually not his first pick. He wanted Michael Jordan to come, and Michael Jordan said, North Korea? Nah. Then he said, what about Scottie Pippen? He said, North Korea. And then Dennis Rodman was like, oh yeah, for sure, Korea. So he ends up going to North Korea and they're just playing rounds of basketball. He liked it. Dennis Rodman said it was kind of fun. He didn't even know who Kim Jong-un was. He just said that he walked into this huge banquet hall and there was this short guy.
What? Short guy is crazy.
Yeah, there was just like this short little guy. And they were like, that's our supreme leader. And he was like, whoa, that's cool. That's cool, I guess. And he said that people's reactions to this short little guy were weird. Some people in the room, when the short little guy walked in, they were crying, just tears streaming down their face, happy, scared. Every single one of them looked like they were having a mental breakdown. And he's like, what's the fucking problem? It's just a short little guy. We don't have to get that riled up about the short king. Come on. Yeah. This little short guy, he said, and he just is like a full foot shorter than Dennis Rodman. Yeah, and then the short little guy is like, so how do you like our country? And Dennis Rodman responds, it's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. And he's just having a conversation with the short little king. Yeah, and he said, Dennis, one day I'd love to come to America. Would you take me? And he's like, I feel like this is a trick question now. I don't know about this one. And then they have a basketball game in front of them, and it ends up in a tie, 110 to 110. I didn't even know scores could go up to 100 in basketball. They were playing the North.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Okay, I feel like they're scoring 110 hoops. Is it 3-pointers? Got it. No, I literally didn't know. Anyway, 110 to 110, a tie between the North Korean basketball team and an American basketball team that was flown in to play North Korea. I'm assuming that the American basketball team is not like your NBA players. You know, maybe it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sports people, help me.
It's sports people, yes.
Sports people. They're like just sports people that are flown in. They played the North Korean team. I don't know if ties are really rare in basketball, but it seemed crazy that they tied. And you know what this energy gives me? This energy gives me, I actually saw a game between Americans and North Koreans in North Korea. Tell me why the Americans look like they're not trying. Tell me why. They're just kind of, they're putting, you know how you have to block a shot and you got to put your arms in the air like you just don't care? Yeah, well, they're kind of doing it just in front of their face.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, like wave in their face.
No, in front of their own faces, basically.
Oh, in their own face.
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
It's really weird. They're not even running, because last time I saw snippets of a basketball game, you hear like squeak, 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 squeak of the shoes, and they're running. They're running across the court. They're not. They're just kind of standing around, like waving.
Like Americans are not trying.
No. And then the North Koreans will win. And then the Americans are like, gosh darn it. Let's try again tomorrow if we're alive.
I imagine, like, with the passion that Kim Jong-un has for basketball, to be a basketball player in the
North
country,
Korea?
it's like, it could be a very good job or a very bad job.
Very bad job. That kind of pressure could kill you, literally.
Yeah, or he's a fan. He's like, whoa,
You think?
you're good.
You don't think he watches the American games and he looks at them and he's like,
You Stephen Curry? Man, we got this one at home. Who's better?
we got this one at home. Anyway, at the end of their first meeting, you know what Kim Jong-un tells Dennis Rodman? If you can, Dennis, I don't want to do war. I don't want war. Dennis.
If you what? If you what?
If you can, Dennis.
If you can?
Yeah,
What do you mean? What is he gonna do?
exactly. I don't want to do war. I don't want war.
That's it?
That's it. And Dennis Rodman is like, yeah, me too, bestie. What the fuck? I feel like you got way more control over that than I do. Okay? So, I should be telling you that. He goes home. CIA immediately is like, Dennis Rodman, get your ass in here. Get your ass in the interrogation room. So I don't know if they're required to tell government officials everything. I would feel like telling anyone anything Kim Jong-un holds confidential would be like a death wish, because this man is so private. Like we don't even know his birth year. There's only speculations. Is it 1982, 1983, 1984? We don't know. Anyway, we don't even know his birthday. It's that crazy. So I guess he doesn't say anything that revealing because he gets invited back. Side note, Dennis Rodman did do a Kevin Hart interview where he said he only uses a flip phone. Yeah, and then he also states that his phone has been tapped ever since he went to North Korea.
Dennis Rodman's phone?
And we never got clarification. Is it tapped by Kim Jong-un or the CIA? Or both? We don't know. Yeah, but Kevin Hart was like, okay, bye. Leave. Take your phone with you. Goodbye. Yeah. And Dennis Rodman's lips are not sealed, though, because 7 months later, he reveals details about Kim Jong-un that nobody ever knew. He comes back from another trip, and he basically says, oh, yeah, it was nice. We had a yacht party on a 200-foot yacht. It was really good. And we were smoking cigars. We were drinking liquor. And you know what? He's such a good family man.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
America said, family man? Yeah, he's so good to his daughter. Daughter? Huh. Nobody knew. I mean, maybe the CIA knew, but like the public did not know Kim Jong-un had a daughter at this point.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Dennis Rodman, be out here yapping. But I do feel like maybe it was planned.
What do you mean?
Like Kim Jong-un, I feel like he would not let Dennis Rodman see his daughter unless, no?
Unless he wanted the information out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've seen the daughter, no? In public?
Oh, she's super public now. She goes
Right.
to all the nuclear bomb tests with him.
Right. Isn't she supposedly the next one in line?
Some people speculate that he's using her as a distraction.
Oh, he has a secret
Son.
son? That's crazy. I can see that too.
Yeah. Her name is like Chua or something. Chue. Yeah.
The daughter?
Yeah. Yeah, he said he's a good dad and has a beautiful family. And then on top of that, he does another thing. Dennis Rodman goes to North Korea, and I don't know why there's a video of this, but he sings Kim Jong-un happy birthday, and even the North Koreans look confused because nobody knows Kim Jong-un's birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
We don't know if it's the exact day of his birth. We don't know if it was around the ballpark of a week, a month. We don't know, but he sings like Marilyn Monroe, happy birthday to you. That type of vibe in the middle of a basketball game. So, yeah, he hasn't been back since, though. So maybe he wasn't supposed to reveal certain information. I don't know. Or maybe Kim Jong-un has moved on to other people that we just don't know have been to North Korea. Like Red Velvet. Like, why were they in Pyongyang? I'm still confused. It's so crazy. What are your thoughts on this? I don't think he's had a new best friend since this.
I mean, we wouldn't know, right?
Yeah, what would we know, right? Fascinating. Moral of the story, no besties last forever. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. They knew that this wasn't the sound of a firework. I mean, from really afar, maybe you could confuse the two sounds a little bit, but if you're close enough, there's no way you're thinking that this is a firework. A firework sound, it lasts a lot longer. It's like a crack and then a fizzling pop afterwards. Like if you throw a piece of meat into a hot sizzling pot of oil to fry it, there's a sizzling, there's an echo. A gunshot, on the other hand, is a lot more distinct. It is abrupt. It starts and then it ends. There is no middle. Just boop, that's it, a blip on the radar. They hear the gunshot. I mean, it's just echoing off the halls of this very dingy apartment complex. In the hallways, every single door to each unit opens. People start popping their head out into the hallway to see where the hell this noise is coming from. Most of the heads peeping into the hallway, they're not even neighbors. They're not even residents of the building. So what are they doing inside of this residential apartment complex? They're journalists. This is what they came for. This gunshot. This is the story. They hear a whole crowd of people screaming from outside the building, like reacting to the gunshot. They're slamming their bodies onto the pavement to try and avoid being shot. They were all here for apartment 24. No, really, there is a crowd of over 100 people, and they are standing in front of the apartment building, just outside, surrounding it, staring at this singular, tiny, small, rectangular window up in the building. This isn't even a nice building, so you're not getting those floor-to-ceiling glass windows or crazy views. It's just an old, gray concrete building with these large stains on the walls, and then they have these tiny windows that are unevenly scattered around. And this is where, in the parking lot, there's about 100 people trying to break their necks, trying to peer into apartment 24. They're looking for him. He's a celebrity at this point. Some girls are even coming up to the building, taking pictures. They're trying to jump as high as they can to get a look inside, which really is not that possible. It's not like they're on the second floor. But they would be screaming, "Come to the window, please! We came to see you! We love bad boys! Show us your face!" People are pointing their phones at the window, seeing if he would react. He did. The window slams open, and a soccer jersey is hung up. A soccer jersey. Half the crowd outside, they start cheering full force. That's their team. He's repping their team. The other half, boo. This is the worst team in the world in their eyes. Okay, there's no middle ground. Others, they start running back to their houses. They start running back to their cars to grab their own soccer jerseys to represent whose side that they're on in all of this. There's dozens of police officers just standing there staring at the cheering crowd. I mean, they look like they're just amazed by the situation. Journalists are standing there as well, waiting for something just exciting to happen. They keep calling his phone to to see if the man in apartment 24 is going to pick up. Oh my God, here he comes. All the cameras pan to the window. They zoom in. Everybody is tapping on their camera screens to get it to focus on the window because someone is about to pop their head out. But it's not him. It's a girl. She sticks her head out the window a tiny bit. She looks maybe 15. And she sticks both of her thumbs up. Like, all good, thumbs up sign.
Both hands.
Both hands. And it's very unnerving. She's giving thumbs up, but her face is contorted. It's splotchy everywhere. I mean, it's clear that she's been crying, sobbing. She's distressed, clearly. Her shoulders are basically up to her ears. Her body language is beyond tense. She looks like she's in life-threatening danger, but she's giving everyone a thumbs up. And behind her, if you zoom closely enough on your phone or your camera, you would see a gun pointed directly at her. Then she disappears, and another girl, another 15-year-old, pops out the window, and they're really young. She's forced to wave. Then she's dragged back into the apartment, and then a gun is shoved out the window, and a shot is fired into the crowd.
Directly into the crowd?
Into the crowd. The man from apartment 24 was a 22-year-old hostage taker. There were 4 teenagers being held hostage in that apartment. This is Brazil's longest hostage situation, 100 hours, and by the end, 3 escape, 1 will be forced back into the apartment after escaping, 2 will be shot, and 1 will die. And the whole nation would just watch it happen in real time, almost like a live stream. I'd like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Network to End Domestic Violence. NNEDV is a nonprofit social change organization dedicated to ending partner-related workplace and stalking violence. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team of dedicated researchers and translators. We would also like to thank you guys, our listeners, for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates of these causes. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. A few brief disclaimers for today's case. We had our Portuguese-speaking researcher who resides in Brazil help gather data for this case. However, as always, please let us know if anything is mistranslated or miscommunicated in the comments below. We also turned to 2 professional FBI negotiators, Chris Voss and Gary Nessner. They're both very well known in the work in their field, so we tried to fill in any gaps in today's case. All patterns and behavioral speculations and analysis were based on their highly educated, highly trained, experience-based published works. They have really great books. The interviews between the press and the perpetrator have also been condensed for clarity. So with that being said, let's get into it. Eloa had just 1 shot for all of this to end. Just 1. That's it. I mean, she's being held hostage, and if she doesn't get this to work, she's gonna be here forever. I mean, who knows? She could die in this apartment. She opens up the window, and she starts sliding down the bed sheets. She had ripped them and tied them tightly to each other, and she's letting them hang down. She's using both arms to throw the torn sheets all the way until it reaches the ground, and then she leans out the window as far down as she can because this is her 1 shot at escaping. 1 shot. So why are they not? Eloa pushes her body just a little bit out more, and still nothing. They don't take the shot. She could feel the gun pressing up against her back. She stands up, takes a step back into the apartment, and starts pulling up the makeshift rope. At the very end of the rope is a paper bag tied to it. Food. Food the police had brought her to eat.
So she's trying to bring up the food, not escaping.
No, she's trying to bring up the food, but she's leaning down as far as possible to give the snipers a clear view of her hostage taker. But they don't take the shot. This was her only shot.
So she was trying to get that message across, and they didn't do that.
They did not. So she just has food attached to her bed sheets, food the police brought because she's getting sick, she's throwing up, she can't eat what's in the house anymore. But none of that matters because she lost her only chance at leaving. It's not like she can try and escape out the window. There's about 100 people standing there that would probably start cheering when she started scaling down the side of the building. They're watching the window of this apartment building like it's a TV screen. Eyes glued, but almost passive. They're not actually trying to help or get involved. They're just watching in real time. Eloa is not trying to escape. She's trying to bend down so that the police could shoot her hostage taker. When Eloa was thrown back into the apartment with the food, they all sat in front of the TV. to watch it all over again. Her grabbing food from the rope. And they would rerun it on every single news network immediately after it happened. She would likely hope that the hostage taker did not notice in all of the reruns that she's leaning down a lot more than she needs to. Some people make horrendous hostage negotiators. If you've ever uttered the words, like even in your head, yeah, but it doesn't matter what they think because what they think is wrong, you would probably not be hired as a good hostage negotiator. You need a high level of emotional intelligence to be considered by the FBI. For example, there are 3 types of people, and next time you're at a party, you can test this out. Pronounce a word wrong on purpose. It's gotta be a hard word where it sounds like you're trying to sound a little bit educated, but not condescending. You pronounce that word incorrectly. There's 3 reactions, 3 types of people. The first type of person, they're not even going to notice that you mispronounced it. Most likely, they're not even paying that close enough attention to you to even notice that you mispronounced it. The second type of person, they're going to smirk. And they're going to point it out directly in front of the whole group, and either intentionally or unintentionally, they're going to embarrass you. The third person will smile genuinely and say something more along the lines of, oh my God, how funny. I actually learned that it was pronounced this way recently. And funny enough, there was a study done that found that avid readers often mispronounce words since they expand their vocabulary through reading rather than watching movies or watching shows. So through sound. I thought it was just really curious. What kind of books do you typically enjoy?
That's some very high level communication skills.
And that third one is going to be a hostage negotiator. You're correcting them. You're letting it be known that that is not a correct thing. You're not shying away from the fact that they mispronounced it, but you're doing it in a way where it gives them the opportunity to walk away.
Yeah, and you're complimenting them, like
Yes.
making them feel good about it.
Exactly. It's all about saying the right thing. You can say the same thing in 2 different ways and get 2 different results. So let's say you're in a hostage situation. You are the hostage negotiator. The purpose is to prep the hostage taker for some bad news. You're trying to soften the blow, something that they're gonna be upset about, and you know it. Do you say, 1, look, I don't want you to be offended by what I'm getting ready to say. Or 2, what I'm getting ready to say is probably gonna offend you.
I think number 2, right?
Yes. The first is almost an order. I don't want you to be offended by what I'm getting ready to say. It centers the negotiator, but the statement itself assumes that the negotiator holds the power because they have the power to offend.
That is true. I don't know why the second just sounds better. And I feel like that can almost be applied to in relationship maybe.
In just regular communication, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how subtle it is. And then 2, it's like a preemptive measure. You need to say something, and this is just to let them know it's not the best news that you're bringing, unfortunately. Also, the natural reaction to option 2 is, oh, okay, well, that wasn't that bad. Let's try another one. This can be used when talking to family members of hostages or even the hostage takers themselves. So when they're delivering horrendous news to them, do you say, 1, you sound angry? Or 2, I know you're angry.
I know you're angry.
Yes. 1 is going to get you the response of, yeah, you bozo, you're the one that pissed me off. Or even, of course I'm angry, you idiot, you made me angry. But with 2, you're more likely to get a response of, yeah, and what are you going to do about it? That at least gives the hostage negotiator an opportunity to make it right.
Wait, can you say those 2 again?
You sound angry. I know you're angry.
No, you're angry. Wow.
It's so subtle. It's crazy. This is what the hostage negotiators from the FBI were talking about. It's just switching a few words, and that makes or breaks a hostage negotiation. Because in a hostage situation, not talking about the anger does not make it go away. Anger is the elephant in the room, so you just need to address it in a way that doesn't escalate the situation. And last question, before we get started, do you know what the F-bomb is in negotiations? It's like the one word that you cannot abuse, but it is incredibly overused in almost all negotiations, business, relationships, friendships, colleagues, everywhere.
It's been used too much?
Used too much.
And it's not good.
No.
The F-bomb.
F-bomb. What do you want in a negotiation? Think even business negotiation.
What do I want?
What do both parties want?
Okay, so it needs to be a win-win. It needs to be a fair.
Fair is the F-bomb. Hostage negotiator Chris Voss said that there are 3 types of ways to use the word fair, and only one of them is correct. Can you guess which one? 1, We just want what's fair for everyone. Fair for you, fair for us. We want both parties to be happy and healthy.
No.
2, we've given you a fair offer. This is the best we can do. I really tried to get the best deal for you. I really did.
No.
3, I want you to feel like you're being treated fairly. So please stop me at any time if you feel like I'm being unfair.
Yeah. The third one sounds so much better.
Yeah. So he said that don't even use that word unless you're using it so correctly, like the third one. So for 1, it's wrong because the implication of like, I want what's fair for both of us.
Yeah.
Whoever utters those words is already admitting loss. They've already got the short end of the stick. That means they already feel like you're scamming them. 2 is wrong because it's almost condescending. Trust me, this is a fair deal. This is the best you're going to get. It's like you don't know it, but I'm letting you know this is the best. 3 is the best because it disarms someone. It makes you seem like a person of integrity and very reasonable to work with. Because at the end of the day, everyone wants to be treated fairly. They want what's fair. But what is fair when you've taken 4 teenage hostages by gunpoint? It's 1 p.m. on a Monday. 15-year-old Aloha and her 3 best friends, Nayara, that's her best friend, okay? She calls her Barbie because of her blonde hair. And then 2 guy friends from school. They're over at Aloha's family apartment and they're just finishing up their geography homework. It's not chaotic, but there's like a nice lively energy in the place. There's music playing in the background. They were hungry, so they just ate lunch and the smell of food is lingering. Aloha is going around doing some chores around the house. Her little brother and parents won't be home till later, so she's trying to get as much done as possible. She's making the bed, putting clothes away, running the laundry, running the dishes. And suddenly, the door flings open and there is a man standing in the doorway. He's just standing in the doorway, staring at them. Aside from the fact that he just burst into the apartment uninvited, his body language is unsettling. His posture is unnaturally rigid. He's scanning the room like he's looking for something or someone. But most unsettling of all, he's got a gun in his hand. And he was looking for Aloha. He is Aloha's stalker. And for a split second, everybody's frozen. I mean, the stalker is in the doorway, and finally he opens his mouth and he says, "Oh boy, you're all in the wrong place at the wrong time. I came to kill Aloha." The man jumps into action. He flings his body across the room and he slaps the 2 teenage boys across the face. He slams the butt of the gun down on their heads. "Sit down on the bed. Sit down." He grabs Aloha by her arm and in front of her school classmates, he just starts beating her viciously, excessively, kicking her, punching her, slapping her. Her 3 friends are just sitting on the bed, terrified. They're screaming for help. And then he fires the gun at the door and they go silent because this man is not joking around. His eyes are bulging out of his face and he's whipping the gun around like it's just like a bandana or like a flag that you would wave around in the air. "I'm gonna kill Aloha and then myself." And with that, the clock has started. It is time for negotiations. The first hour of a hostage situation is the most crucial. If you were to see the state of emotions during a hostage situation over time, one of the highest peaks would be at the first hour. Highest emotion, highest risk, highest consequences. The hostage taker in the first hour usually feels a massive surge of adrenaline. It's almost euphoric. The feeling of complete power and control. Adrenaline levels will shoot up 500% above baseline. 500% of like what you and I feel right now times 500% in adrenaline. To give you an idea, our levels only increase 500% in severe life-threatening situations, like if a shark is swimming straight at you with their teeth showing, or if you're in the middle of an earthquake and the building is collapsing. That is when your adrenaline peaks 500% above baseline. Your senses are so alert, so heightened, you almost feel like you have super hearing, like you became a superhero. You can hear 3 apartment units down from you, every creak. Things seem brighter in color. Your brain tricks you into thinking you've never been so clear-minded. Your brain might even trick you into becoming blind to the reality of fatality, to death. It said dopamine levels can increase by 50%. That's your brain's feelings of reward, motivation, and sense of power. Your serotonin levels, your happy chemicals, rise 20 to 30%, which is an increase of you just feel happy in this situation. You're likely to feel 70 to 80% more self-assured than usual as a hostage taker in the first hour alone. Now, the dangerous part of all of this is what goes up must come down. And it comes down really quick. It's not even in the first hour. Sometimes it comes down in 10 minutes. And once you're back down to baseline, it's gonna feel horrendous. You're gonna start sweating profusely from the increased anxiety. You might feel trembling and nausea. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, it's like a tiny almond-shaped panic button. It starts going off nonstop. The fire alarm, the sprinklers inside your brain, and technically your body, because you're sweating a lot. You can't catch your breath. It feels like you ran a marathon. You can hear thumping in your ears. It sounds like there's a drum playing in your chest. Your whole body is just slick with sweat. Your hands are shaking and you're trying to hold your gun steady, but it's about to fall out because you're so sweaty and you're shaking. You keep rolling your neck because the tension is so, you just feel so sore. It feels like you've been carrying a heavy backpack of rocks all day long. The tension starts leading to headaches and you just want to scream, shut up, everyone. Let me think for a second. Even when nobody's talking. Attention span decreases 25 to 35%. Field of vision narrows 20 to 30%. Working memory decreases by 20 to 30%. Your brain is trying to work through 5 to 10 potential plans or possible outcomes per minute. Because your brain is trying to anticipate the reaction of the hostages, the police, the negotiators, because at the end of the day, even if you're an evil person, your brain is trying to protect you. Any little mistake, any little oversight, life or death. Now, there are 3 sides to each hostage situation: the hostage taker, the hostage, and the hostage negotiator. And the power will actually ebb and flow between the 3 parties. Sometimes it changes on a daily basis or even a minute by minute, second by second basis who holds the power. And unfortunately, the person with the most power is the one with the least to lose. In Brazil, there is a special tactical action group called GATE. So they focus on hostage situations. It would be comparable, I don't know if comparable in skill and training, but comparable to the US's FBI hostage negotiation team. 70 GATE officers, they would show up, surround the apartment building, and set up HQ at the school nearby, headquarters, the command center. The school that Aloha and the 3 others went to, that's the command center. The hostage negotiator's job is to understand all the emotions, the power plays from what's going on inside that apartment and try to get everyone to walk out alive. They're focused on strategy and mind games. But GATE also called on a tactical team. They're focused on trying to get in and disarm the hostage taker whenever they see an opportunity. Strategy and snipers. Very different teams that have to work together to de-escalate. Their motto for GATE is time, patience, and calm. Then you have the hostage taker, armed, dangerous, and usually mad, sad, and mentally mad. That's how they describe them.
Mad, sad, and mentally
mad. Mentally ill. Yeah. And all they want is something. Demands for money? Give me $100,000 and I'll let your daughter go. Give me a getaway car and a duffel bag of untrackable hundreds and I'll let the bank tellers go. Do they want release or exchange of people? Let inmate John Doe go from Rikers prison and I'll let my hostage go. Or maybe it's religious or political. Air my sermons on national television and I will release the kids. That was a real demand from a religious cult leader. The prime minister steps down or else someone's getting shot. And then you have the hostages. Every day, both hostage taker and hostage negotiator will argue about the value of the hostage's life with none of their input. But their power is in their existence. They're as powerful as much as the hostage negotiators think their life is worth, which is a very scary situation to be in. But in this case, there's actually a 4th group, the press. This is the case of the very first almost live-streamed hostage situation, broadcast on live television in real time with a live audience outside the apartment building, watching in real time, cheering for one side or the other like they're watching a baseball game. The press, seemingly right off the bat, they knew that there was a hostage situation. They rushed over to the apartment. They ran through the same process the hostage negotiators did, which is identify the hostages inside. This is Aloha Pimentel's apartment, so likely the hostage taker came for her specifically. Their next course of action, same with GATE, was to track down every single person that was ever in Aloha's life, to get exclusive interviews with them to air in real time, that potentially even Aloha herself would be watching from inside the apartment. They could even ask, do you want to say something to Aloha? That would be good TV. So journalists, they managed to track down Aloha's ex-boyfriend, which was likely the most interesting person in terms of news coverage. I mean, forget a classmate, forget a teacher, ex-boyfriend. And they start spinning together this whole story. Star-crossed lovers. But once she gets out of there, once this whole thing is over and she's no longer being held hostage, they're gonna get back together and it's gonna be the wedding of the century. Hostage freed, freed hostage bride. Think about that. They will have this realization, the both of them, that they miss each other, that they cannot live without each other. That was the story that the news was spinning. One expert media attorney stated on air, "I'm very optimistic. I hope it all ends well, and I hope that there will be a wedding for him and Aloha, his passionate ex-girlfriend, somewhere in the future. I really hope that this all has a happy ending, and I'm certain it will." Well, we do have Lindenberg, Aloha's ex, on the line right now. This is a live phone conversation aired on live television. Lindenberg, how are you feeling? What do you want to tell the people about your ex, Aloha? What's going on? People might not believe me, but right now, I'm not thinking about me or anyone else. I'm just thinking about Aloha's life. I believe that. You really liked her. She's your girlfriend for a very long time, right? That's right. 2 years and 7 months. The media is a circus. You know, they make up a lot of things that aren't true. But regardless, Aloha's ex-boyfriend, Lindenberg, was very helpful over the phone. He said, I'm positive that this is going to end in the best way possible. The journalist smiled and tried to sympathize with him so that she could keep him on the phone. And near the end of the phone call, she pauses, maybe to verify that the cameras are still rolling, that they're still live. And she asks through the phone, "Wait, Lindenberg, before you hang up, can you let me speak to Aloha for a little bit? 1 minute. You get 1 minute. Talk, Aloha." The journalist looks hesitant. "Aloha?" And then the call cuts. Aloha's at the bus stop staring. I mean, everywhere Aloha went, Lindenberg went. And this is before the hostage situation. This is when he was just her stalker, not her hostage taker. If Aloha was getting out of class, he would ride his motorcycle very slowly near her school until he spots her in her little backpack. Then he would speed up and then slow down only when he gets so close enough that he's basically riding his motorcycle while she's walking. And he doesn't even talk to her. He just stares her down the whole way through, refuses to leave. Even if she starts running, he steps on the pedal a tiny bit. He just wants to ride right next to her, staring her down, going 2 miles per hour, never saying a word. Aloha naturally was terrified. She would find all these new routes to take home so that she would try to escape him, that he wouldn't come and see her out of school. She would sneak around the alleyways trying to find busy pockets where he can't even ride his motorcycle into. It was absolutely, utterly miserable. Everywhere she went, she felt like she had eyes tracking her. She would start second guessing every word that she said, every facial expression that she made. She felt the need to analyze things. And to him, that's not even enough. The phone at home would start ringing. Aloha's mom, Anna, would pick up. "Hello? If your daughter does not see me, I will take desperate measures." Desperate. Anna, Aloha's mom, would just hang up the phone. Aloha's ex-boyfriend, Lindenberg, he was just always had a flair for being dramatic. He would say these things. He just really liked attention. And worst case scenario, maybe he would harm himself. And that's a big problem. But she doubted it. But even if he did, is that really her problem? Her priority is her child, and he's a full-grown adult. Aloha, she felt like a hostage before she was even taken hostage. A few weekends before Lindenberg walked into the apartment and slammed the door shut, she was standing at a bus station, scrolling on her phone, when she feels something weird. She feels watched. She looks up and down the other side, and then across the street she sees Lindenberg just standing there, staring at her. Her eyebrows crinkle. She's holding onto multiple textbooks, heavy textbooks in her arms, and she's waiting for the bus. Or at least she thought, okay, maybe this will be a good shield because Lindenberg is now crossing the street and heading straight for her. "Get back together with me." What? No. Aloha wasn't going to do that. "I made a lot of mistakes, but I love you. You know that, right?" Aloha tried to ignore him. She didn't want to talk to him or see him ever again. She thought, okay, I thought I made this very, very clear. But Lindenberg loses his temper. He just starts yelling, threatening her, slapping her across the face, throwing her books all over the floor. And Aloha just stands there shocked. This is the first time he's been violent with her. And she runs back home crying. She runs in through the family door, slams it shut. The picture frames on the walls are probably shaking. She books it straight for her room. Her face is red. It's swollen from crying. And Douglas, Aloha's little brother, tries to knock on her door. Are you okay? Is everything all right in there? She doesn't respond. Douglas has a pretty strong gut feeling, like a very bad gut feeling about this one. He thought Lindenberg was the one doing this to his sister. So he decides to camp outside the apartment building to make sure that he doesn't show up until his parents get home. And Douglas would sit on the curb angry with himself because he was the one that introduced 20-year-old Lindenberg to his 12-year-old sister. When Aloha's parents had gotten home, they were so enraged, they called Lindenberg and they demanded an apology, and he just told them, well, I could do a whole lot worse. Trust me. Now, in the tiny little apartment, Aloha is squeezed onto the bed with 3 of her friends. She's trying to calm Lindenberg down. Initially, very briefly, she does try to tell him what he wants to hear, or at least what she thinks he wants to hear. I mean, she doesn't really know for sure what to do in this type of situation. Lindenberg is... A lot of people use the word manic translated to describe him. I try not to use that word lightly, but it's said that a lot of hostage takers do display signs of mania during the first few hours. There's a sense of barely contained chaos that's just ready to burst out. They become almost, to an unseasoned negotiator, they seem 1,000% entirely unpredictable. I'll get back together with you. It's gonna be okay. We can try to figure this out, calm down, and we can talk about it. Just you and I. No, now I don't want that anymore. I don't want you anymore. I came here to kill you, and I'm gonna kill you. And then Lindenberg would have a new change of plans. Either he was gonna kill Aloha, or he was gonna kill Aloha's friends in front of Aloha so that Aloha could suffer, or he was gonna kill all of them. He looks around and he spots Nayara, the other girl hostage, the only other girl in the apartment. Her. It's gonna be her. Nayara could feel it. He was gonna choose to kill her. Lindenberg always complained to Aloha that she listened to Nayara too much, that Nayara was a bad influence that always told her to break up with Lindenberg, but none of that was even true. But it's not like he cares, right? He makes them all lay down, he grabs shirts from the laundry, ties them together, uses them to tie up the hostage's legs and arms, and then they wait. If you ever visit my house, don't open my closet. I may have a problem because I have been buying some clothes here and there, and then I never get around to organizing them for whatever reason, and I don't even wear most of them because I don't know where they are and I don't know what pile it's in, and that's the worst part. But at least it's only a one-time purchase, right? Imagine if I was paying for those clothes that I never use every single month, over and over again. That sounds like a nightmare, but that is also what most people are doing every single month with their subscriptions. Most people subscribe to a website or service and completely forget about it, and your money goes down the drain. Or worse, you pay twice for the same service. I used to be those people until I started using Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Rocket Money saves me a lot of money, but also they save me so much time. When I first tried the app, I thought maybe I'd have like 2 inactive subscriptions, but I had over 10. I was kind of in disbelief, but the app is super convenient to use. So all I had to do was make a few clicks. Rocket Money lets you overview all your subscriptions, and they go through the hassle of canceling the ones that you don't want anymore. That means you don't have to spend 20 minutes per website or per streaming service, or even hop on a call with customer service just to cancel. It's like the feeling of cleaning out your closet without doing any of the work. And Rocket Money also has a dashboard that tracks my monthly spending, and I can compare this month's spending to the previous months to track my spending habits. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate and lower your bills for you by up to 20%. I didn't know until Rocket Money that you could actually negotiate your bills. So all you have to do is submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of everything else. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/rotten. That's rocketmoney.com/rotten. rocketmoney.com/rotten. Do you know one of the first rules of hostage negotiations? Chris Voss once said, "Me making you dumber than me will always hurt me." But that doesn't mean you should know everything, right? Or at least as much as you can, but never make the hostage taker feel like you know something that they don't know, that you know a lot more, that you're smarter than them. You need to use every piece of information to your advantage and reveal it piece by piece, bit by bit, by calculated, controlled ways to the hostage taker. If you reveal too much information at once, you've shown them everything you have and you're putting them on the defense. They feel threatened, which is never good. If you don't know much at all, well, you're just flat out at a disadvantage. The first things hostage negotiators typically go for: profiles. Profiles of the hostage taker and all the hostages, and floor plans. What does the inside of that apartment look like? I need that information now. How was Gate alerted of the hostage situation so early on? There were 4 hostages in the apartment, all teenagers, Aloha and her 3 friends. One of the hostages, the guy ones, was named Victor. Victor told his dad that he'd be coming home at around 5 p.m. after spending the day at Aloha's doing homework. He never made it home. Victor's dad, being protective, came to Aloha's to see if something was keeping him. He walked up to the apartment door. Knock, knock. Nothing. He was about to turn and walk away, but he heard weird noises coming from the other side of the door. It's unclear what noises he heard, but it was enough to make him pause and go, "That's a bit strange." That's what he said. It just sounded strange. He thought something wasn't right. So whether he heard screaming or sounds of beating, I don't know, but he wanted to get into that apartment. So he tries to break down the door by kicking it in. And someone on the other side of the door screams, "Who's out there? Don't come near the door. Don't try to do anything or else I will kill everyone in this room." Victor's dad runs downstairs, fumbling with his phone, trying to call the police, but there happened to be a police car sitting at the complex. He flags down the officer, Sergeant Valeriano. We're going to call him Sergeant V. He gets out of his patrol car, makes his way to the apartment door, hoping that he's going to de-escalate the situation. But instead, he hears the same voice, "Get away or I'll kill them all." Sergeant V pauses. He's like, "I need a moment to think because I can't act too rash." Perpetrator fires in the direction of the door. Thankfully, nobody was hit. Sergeant V gets on the radio to call for urgent backup. Perpetrator hears the radio, is agitated, fires again through the door. Thankfully, he missed once more. However, neighbors heard the commotion. They start coming out of their units to investigate. They call their friends from other apartment buildings, their buddies and their sisters and brothers. Some call the police, some call the journalists, and now they're forming a small group at the base of the building to try and see if they can get into the unit or see into the unit. It is a live crowd watching a hostage situation. So who's the main hostage in this case? That's what the police need to know when they get on the scene. And what did the hostage taker come for? 15-year-old Aloha Pimentel. Her classmates say that she's bright, happy, but incredibly shy. She doesn't talk much. She's closest with her mom. They're practically joined at the hip before this. Favorite activity was shoe shopping. Aloha would be allowed to try on high heels and walk around the department store like a little fashion show. Family dynamic. Parents, Anna and Aldo. 2 younger brothers, Ronixons and Douglas. The whole family seems to know the hostage taker. His name is Lindenberg, likely introduced to the Pimentels through the little brother Douglas, the younger brother of Aloha. And Lindenberg, the hostage taker, short-tempered. He likes to play soccer, but neighbors say that all of his games are cut short because he would get into a fist fight at the end. He works 2 jobs, one as a delivery guy during the day, and at night he does pizza deliveries. And right now, dangerous, armed, with a giant plastic bag of ammunition. He came prepared. It appears he went in with the intention of staying a while. It is likely that this situation was triggered by a breakup between the 2 of them. And when I say those words, I'm not saying that's a reasonable reason. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Lindenberg likely felt that this is why he had to do what he had to do. That's what the hostage negotiators are also picking up on. But some neighbors would report to the police that they saw this coming. They said that every night Aloha's parents weren't home or they were asleep in their apartment, Aloha and Lindenberg would meet in the parking lot and just scream fight in each other's faces. And it was just always a strange pairing to begin with, the 2 of them. Aside from the 8-year age gap, they just weren't a pairing that made sense in everybody's mind. They were opposites. But not in like the cute, oh my god, they're each other's halves. No, in like the, she's way too good for him. What does she even see in him? She's incredibly sweet and he's just obnoxious and aggressive and just kind of vile.
And he's 20 and she's 12.
Exactly. Like that, again, that's just aside from the alarming age gap. Obviously, Aloha's parents hated this relationship. They were disgusted by it. I don't even think that they were thrilled that their son Douglas had a 20-year-old friend. But apparently they played soccer together and that's how they all met. But this is their daughter, and at first they thought, absolutely not. We're going to do whatever it takes to make sure she's not dating a 20-year-old. But it's not that easy. When is the last time you told a 12-year-old to stop doing something and they stopped doing it? Aloha's parents ran through all the different outcomes in their head, and they're thinking, okay, this is probably the safest. We're going to let her date him, but there's going to be a lot of rules. Curfew's at 10. You only meet in the house when you're on a date if it's just you two. If you ever leave the house to go on a dinner date, a lunch date, a bowling date, you take Douglas with you. And the door always stays open. That is the only way this is allowed. Because they didn't want her sneaking out and doing these things. So for the next 2+ years, Aloha's parents actually start seeing Lindenberg as one of their own kids. He was just always around. But there was this very unsettling incident. Aloha's mom decided to have lunch with Lindenberg's mom one day. And, the kids are close, but the families aren't that close. And it's like she was giving Aloha's mom a warning. She said, he can be an altered person. He likes to play the role of head of the house. And unfortunately, Aloha's parents didn't know this, but from the very beginning of their relationship, obviously, it was all about power. I mean, Lindenberg is 8 years older than Aloha. You don't date someone who's 12 when you're 20 unless you're sick in the head, but also you have a weird, strong yearning for power. That type of power dynamic is just bizarre. It is almost complete and total power that you're chasing. And the rules were as follow. Aloha was never to speak to a friend without him present, even if it's a girlfriend. So long as Lindenberg is not there, why should Aloha be enjoying herself? Why should she be even talking at all? Family dinners, same thing. If Lindenberg isn't invited, is it really a family dinner? Why would Aloha need to attend? If she wanted to do anything other than study, sleep, or just sit there staring at the wall thinking about Lindenberg should know about it, approve it, and better yet, be there for it. Aloha was not allowed to do anything without his presence. Those are some insane rules to even try and enforce, which ironically, Lindenberg of course did not abide by the same rules. One anonymous friend stated that Lindenberg was always at the club on the weekends without Aloha. The only reason that the relationship lasted 3 years was because Lindenberg is a master manipulator. He would love bomb Aloha, break up with her, make it seem like she was the horrendous one and that she had broken his heart. Then the next day he would come back begging for forgiveness, or sometimes he would just talk to her the next day as if they didn't break up last night. And she would just be so confused. This constant back and forth was this crazy push and pull experience that Lindenberg had complete power over until one day Aloha was over it. She's like, I'm not doing this anymore. She went to her mom's room one night and her mom's like, what's wrong, sweetie? Mom, you were right. I don't want to date anymore. I just want to focus on studying and focus on my friendships. Aloha did not tell her all of these other details. These would come out later. So once the police, they gather all this information, then they're working to calm down the press, the public, the families, and anyone else that could be watching the police from the news. Every word that the agents even deliver to a journalist has to be super calculated. Likely the hostage taker is listening. The family members of the hostage taker and the hostages are listening. Everybody's involved. It's very delicate. The police stood in front of the press. We have a lot of different tactics that could be used in this case, and if there are signs that the hostages' lives are in danger, we will take more drastic measures. But in our current situation, the best we can do is move on with the negotiations. We are optimistic that we will solve this situation. That is all. Thank you. Sergeant V is going to be the one primarily talking to Lindenberg. Not because he's a hostage negotiator, but because a lot of the times, interesting rule of thumb is, regardless of ranking, first law enforcement officer to have contact with the hostage taker is usually handling a lot of the vocal conversations. They're heavily involved.
Really?
They might introduce the main hostage negotiator, but they're still going to be giving calls and saying certain things.
That's so interesting.
I guess that's the first person on the scene. So there is a little bit more of I wonder if it's subliminal.
Like a little bit of trust.
Subconsciously, like since the beginning, not just some rando big shot that was called in. Even if they're not trained in hostage negotiations, it's just a level of trust. It's very interesting. But he would have the hostage negotiators just instructing everything that he's doing word for word. They probably went through rigorous training, hopefully at one of the top 2 hostage negotiation training centers in the world. The Bureau is one, the FBI Training Center for Hostage Negotiations, and Scotland Yard's in London. So apparently those are the most reputable, most rigorous programs. Because if they had gone, they would have gone through very intense, high-stakes trials. 60 seconds or she dies. That's the exercise FBI hostage negotiators will go through during training over and over again. 60 seconds or she dies. They're taught every phone conversation, every word has weight in a hostage negotiation. A negotiator has to know how to convey the message they want in the quickest, most effective way. They might go in ready to say things like, I want to see you survive this, you know? Whatever else goes with that, let's pick a point in the future. 5 years from now, a year from now, that we're both good, that we're both happy, and then let's work our way back. Why? Because people make their decisions based on their vision of the future. Find out what their vision of the future is and then remove yourself as a threat. They might continue. We're on opposite sides of the fence right now, but that's not going to stop us from being together on the same side in the future. The biggest differences between conversations and negotiations are conversations are about exploring. There's no set goal. Negotiations are all about closure and resolution. There is a goal and there's a ticking time bomb. Do you know the most powerful tool in any verbal communication? Your voice. The literal sound and inflections and how you draw out your words and your cadence, the tone, all that plays a role in being a good hostage negotiator. Some of them, you listen to them on podcasts, they have such a soothing voice, or it's almost a slightly authoritative, but not too overly powerful voice. It's like right in the middle. It's not too soft. The three voices of negotiations are as follows. Late night radio host, positive, playful friend, and assertive, direct communicator. The key identifiers in the late night radio host voices being the voice of calm and reason. I'm your host for this midnight show. It sounds like that. It's a soft down inflection at the end of every sentence. It's authority without triggering defensiveness. But you don't go without triggering defensiveness? Then there's the playful, positive friend voice. This should actually be your default voice. It's easygoing, good-natured. Outside this situation, I'd be a fun person to share a beer with, okay? Even after all of this, maybe we'll be drinking buddies. I can take a joke. Come on, let's hear it. Say something wild. And then the last one, assertive direct communicator. You would think that this is what most hostage negotiators operate in. It's not. They say that this voice is almost always counterproductive. It's like slapping yourself in the face while trying to make progress. FBI negotiator Chris Voss said, it's like getting hit in the face with a brick, and that is never a great idea. Which it's kind of hard to get out of because most law enforcement officers are trained only in this voice. So to learn that this voice is actually bad, loud, clear commands are actually bad, and it makes people feel attacked, it's going to be very hard to reset your boundaries.
So the first two is good.
Yes.
The last one is bad.
The last one is very rarely you need to set a boundary, set it with this voice, but it's only when you need to set incredibly firm boundaries. And then you should kind of ebb and flow between the other two. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more light-going, then sometimes you need to calm them down and keep them at a place where you know what you're talking about and just trust me, this is going to be okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And another key important point is 738-55 rule. 7% of messages are conveyed through the words. 38% tone of voice. For example, I'm really impressed by how much you've learned in a short amount of time. I'm really impressed by how much you've learned in a short amount of time. One seems a little more genuine. One is like, I don't know if they're patronizing me or not. I don't know if this is like condescending. But that still leaves 45% of the percentages. What is that? Body language. Now, how do you do that when all you have is a phone? Focus even more on tone. Because once you have a set tone, close your eyes. Hi, everyone. Did it sound like I'm smiling?
Yeah.
You can almost picture someone's body language through the way that their voice sounds and their tone. Oh, and one more thing. Veteran negotiator Voss said along the lines of, silence is good. Sit there in silence with the hostage taker. Why? Because you don't sit in silence with people you don't know. You try to fill the silence. You sit in silence with people that you're intimate with. There is a level of intimacy, and you need to manufacture it sometimes. So now they know who's in the apartment. They know the floor plan. They know Aloha and her relationship with the hostage taker. They know who Lindenberg is. They just need to know what the hell he wants. The first call in the hostage negotiation is everything. Two things have to be done. The hostage negotiator has to let them know that they're listening and want to help. And then they have to figure out what the hostage taker wants. So the Sergeant V puts the phone up to his ear. He's getting ready to introduce himself because you want to introduce yourself by name. And Lindenberg picks up. They're screaming on the other end. And he freaks out. Why is there screaming on the other end? Lindenberg is out of breath. Oh, I'm just beating my girlfriend. This bitch. Aloha is screaming in the background, I'm not your girlfriend! There's harsh like, dun, from the other side of the line, and he's screaming. Lindenberg is screaming, shut up, shut up, shut up! Aloha's mom would get involved and try to reason with Lindenberg that she could try and talk to Aloha, get her to see his side and get back together with him. Clearly, she's just doing that to get him to release them. But Lindenberg tells her and the authorities, I don't want her back anymore. I want to kill her. That is what he states he wants in the first phone call. To kill the hostage.
O que você quer? Fala pra mim pra eu poder te ajudar, cara.
One former FBI negotiator states, if it's an impossible ask from the hostage taker from the beginning, your hostage is going to be in bad shape. They've made him demand that even if you want to, you can't do. It's not going to work. It didn't seem like gate agents had control over the situation. They didn't even have control over the media. They're all camped outside trying to get zoom lenses to peer into the apartment. There's random crowds of people just gathering outside to see like, ooh, is something gonna happen? It's a live show. I don't know what they're expecting. People to be released, for them to cheer. And then the door to the apartment opens up. They see a foot. A foot steps out. Then another foot and another foot and another foot. The steps get quicker and faster and pace. Steps. Run down the stairs. The two boys have been freed. Out of nowhere, they were released. The gate agents did not negotiate their release, so how the hell did they get released?
This happened like very early.
Day one, first like 12 hours. Inside the apartment, it was a very messy scene. Lindenberg is standing there, waving his gun around, staring, eyes bugging out at the four hostages. Victor, one of the guys, is on the ground. He's collapsed. Aloha is fanning his face, trying to get him to wake up. The other guy friend is in the corner, pale as somebody can get, like sickly pale, just standing there, cowering. Nayara, Aloha's friend, is trying to reason with the mad gunman, Lindenberg. Look at them. They're getting pale. You don't even know them. They never did anything to you, so just let them go. He pauses. Are you sure that you girls want to be alone in here with me? Without them, you want me to release them? This is a tricky question. Lindenberg likely did not want the boys there or any guys near Aloha. So it's speculated that he let the boys go because he straight up just does not want boys near Aloha. Aloha stood up though. Yes, I want them gone. Let them leave. And the door swings open, and it was the investigators' very first win. But it was not a negotiation that they even made. The agents surround the two boys. What did Lindenberg say? What did he say he wanted? How is he behaving? They're trying to get all the intel. The boys look at the officers. He's very unstable. He goes from being calm and then assuring us that everything's going to be okay to being aggressive and violent with Aloha. At like the drop of a hat, he switches back and forth. He keeps changing his mind on his game plan, what he wants out of this, what he's going to do next. At first, he said he wanted to kill Aloha. That's all he said he wanted to do. Then he said, no, I'm going to make her suffer by killing all of you in front of her, making her witness all of this. And then the next second, he would change his mind, and then he would scream at the top of his lungs at us, nobody's getting out here alive, understand? And then 2 seconds later, his demeanor would shift and he would be very soft with us and say, guys, don't worry. I'm not actually a bad guy. I'm going to release all of you. Don't stress out. Nobody's going to get hurt. Then he would immediately turn around and start violently beating Aloha, leaving red and purple marks all over her skin. How is Aloha holding up? She's obviously scared, but she's standing her ground. She told him straight up to his face multiple times that she was never getting back with him. Not the best news, not the worst news either. I mean, obviously it's bad. Aloha is being assaulted physically, but authorities were hopeful because Lindenberg's decision to release the two boys was likely Lindenberg trying to resolve the situation sooner rather than later, right? Maybe he's letting them go one by one. He realizes that this is not what he wants. It's not worth it. He's just having what they call a, quote, mental health crisis. And as an upbeat reminder, hostage negotiations are successful 93% of the time. 93. And usually that 7% is because the bad guys, they were never there to make a deal in the first place. They just need to play their cards right, and this is all going to blow over. Okay? So the main thing to remember for the gate agents, and another famous negotiator, Gary said, is contain the situation. Contain the scene. Put a bubble around it, but inside that bubble, have open communications. Contain, but open. Open in a contained environment. That is key. Two parties talking openly back and forth with each other. Hostage negotiator, hostage taker. Sometimes the hostage, nobody else. The phone rings into the apartment. Lindenberg still has the gun in his hand and he uses the other to pick up the phone. Hello? Hi, Lindenberg. Is everything all right in there? Yeah, I'm okay, man. How is Aloha? Everything okay in there? Let's talk. I want to help you. What I want to tell you is the captain is reassuring you that you will not be harmed. Be sure of that. Do you understand? How's the situation between you and Aloha? We're unraveling things here. I don't want anything to do with her anymore. Tell me something. Why did you decide to do this? Were you desperate? Jealous? Was that it? Lindenberg starts getting agitated. Desperate? Desperate? If I was desperate, I would have shot myself in the face and been done with everything. No. Don't do that. What are you thinking about right now? I have no feelings right now. I'm cold-hearted as No, but be calm. I know it's hard, but be calm. Is Aloha with you? Is she calm? How is she? She's okay. Hold on. She'll talk to you. Yes, put her on the phone, please. Hello? How are you? I'm okay. Is everything okay in there? Yes, everything's okay. I want to eat. Do you want to eat lunch? Yes, I'm weak. Be calm. We talked to Lindenberg. We'll talk to him again. Is he treating you well? Aloha starts crying. Yes, he's treating me well. So trust him. Make him feel relaxed. Do you want to say something to your mom? I just want to know, how is my family? I just want to say to my mom that I love her, and my father too. I love him too. Be calm. Talk to Lindenberg. He's willing to end things peacefully. Yeah, he said that he will let me go. Yes, he will release you. Be calm, think about God, and pray. Lindenberg takes the phone back from Aloha. He seems agitated. He keeps asking how they got his number. I'm asking you, and you won't respond because I asked you first. Please don't make me nervous. How did you get my phone number? Don't be nervous. We got your number through our managing team. Just say who gave it to you. I just want to know. Why can't I just understand? We got it from some of your relatives, okay? Lindenberg, are you still there? I wanted everything to happen naturally. That officer shouldn't have been doing what they were doing. What did that officer do? I told them I didn't want anyone to come upstairs, but an officer did, and he rang the bell. We were sleeping, and I jumped up scared, and I almost shot her. No. Be calm, man, okay? We trust you. We know that you're a good person. We know that you don't want to do anything bad. We trust you. I don't want anyone getting close to the building because I'm telling you, if anyone comes near, that guy, that officer that came here, the captain, I don't know, he rang the bell and I almost shot the girl thinking that he was going to break into this place. If he did that now, she and I would be dead. Okay, what do you want right now? What are you requesting? For now, I'm just thinking about her. She wants to eat something for lunch because she's weak. And you will release Aloha. Are you planning on releasing her today? Yes, I plan to. I do. But what happens is that the captain is doing everything wrong. He's doing bullshit. I just want everyone to know that I have a bag full of ammunition here, and if anyone comes close, I will shoot. I understand. The line cuts, and the man on the other line, the one that was having this conversation with Lindenberg, turns to the camera. And there you have it, folks. I'm journalist Louise Guerra, and that was an exclusive interview with Lindenberg, the hostage taker, exclusively on Read TV.
That was a journalist?
He called in to an active hostage taker situation to interview the hostage taker and air it.
Is that okay to do?
No. But everyone's doing it. I don't know if they just didn't have the appropriate laws and the police could not control the journalists. If that happened in America, it would be
crazy.
Yeah, it might have happened in America, I feel. Because crazy things do be happening. But yeah, that was an interview with a journalist.
Olha, você tá precisando mandar recado pra sua mãe, alguma coisa?
Eu queria saber como ela tá, como meus familiares estão.
Tá tudo bem com eles.
Beijo da minha mãe e do meu pai.
He actually works under an even bigger journalist who has her own TV show called Sonia Brau. She ends up doing another exclusive interview with Lindenberg. Journalists were able to find Lindenberg's number. They would bribe or ask relatives or former friends of his. And even though they knew it was highly unethical, they would call and interfere with hostage negotiations. Because remember everything I said about being a hostage negotiator? Mm-hmm. These journalists don't have that kind of training. Mm. Even the questions that he was asking, if you listen back, they're instigating him. They're making him get riled up. Why would you do that?
So does Lindenberg know that these are journalists,
Yeah.
reporters?
He knows.
Okay.
And he knows that they're being aired. And he
Okay.
actually quite likes it. Journalist Sonia turns on the camera. The last information that we're getting here is that he is about to surrender to the police. We just talked to them and he said that he will turn himself in, he will release the girls, but he wants the TV cameras from all the channels to capture that moment so that he feels safe and knows that nothing bad will happen to him. In the next minutes, he will come out into... Oh, we're getting a call. She hops on the call with Lindenberg. Look, let me ask you something, Lindenberg. Are you afraid that the police are going to shoot you? Because that's not going to happen. Why would you ask that? Like, what a way to pique someone's anxiety and not do a whole lot to calm them down. Are you afraid of being shot on sight? Don't worry, it's not going to happen. Even though there's armed officers everywhere pointing guns at you, I just showed a montage of it on my news network of snipers being pointed at you. But don't worry, it's not going to happen, okay? But are you scared? Tell me how scared you are. Lindenberg responds, no, I'm not scared because before coming into this, I already knew the risk. I was aware of what could happen to me. Now, explain something to me, Lindenberg. I think the whole nation watching, wants to know. You told the other journalists that you want nothing to do with Aloha anymore. So why did you go in the apartment? What did you want from this? Is this revenge? I wanted to resolve things with her. I tried to sit with her to talk things through, but she always turned her back to me and didn't want to listen, so I had to use force to make her listen. I understand. But did you talk to her? Did you tell her everything? You've been in there for more than 30 hours now. I think you've had enough time to tell her everything that you wanted, no? Aloha is not cooperating. Among the 4 people who were here with me, everyone was cooperating but Aloha. She's just starting to cooperate now. How did she not cooperate? Was she too nervous to do so? Yes, and one time she came up and tried some bullshit trying to take the gun out of my hand. The gun went off inside the apartment. Wow. Good Lord. Wow. If she tries to take the gun from my hands, I will shoot. What did you want to say to Aloha? Can you tell us? I don't think so. This is between me and Aloha. I understand. This is a very intimate thing between the two of you, right? Did you already tell her everything that you wanted to say? So now she's cooperating? Were you able to clear things up about the breakup? I had this conversation with her, and before you called me here, we were talking things over. But every time we sit down to talk, one of us always ends up stressing out about things, and then we have to take a break for things to not get too heated. I think it's all just very difficult right now. I know, but what do you want from Aloha now? I want her to be calm. I want her to make me feel calm. And then I will accept anything that the negotiators say for her to get out of here alive.
So what day is this now? Like still first day, second day?
30 hours in.
30 hours in.
Out of 100.
And the police are okay with them calling in? They're not doing anything about it?
They try to get them to stop, but they can't really control every single journalist. And I guess the journalists are not scared of any legal repercussions. I mean, even in the end, the journalists, they just get slapped with a fine. That's about it. And this is crazy. I mean, their ratings were through the roof. Whoever had these conversations with Lindenberg, whoever had exclusive footage, through the roof. Sonia would say, it seems like you are willing to kill Aloha. And that's not true. I know you're not that kind of person, Lindenberg. You're not understanding this. For her to get out alive, I have no intention of killing her. I'm not trying to kill her. No, I'm not saying that you are trying to kill her. I said that when you say it like that, like if Aloha needs to get out alive, the police need to do this, people might misinterpret it, and I know that you don't mean it that way. You're not that kind of person. We both want both of you unharmed, correct? People might not believe me, but right now I'm not even thinking about me. I'm thinking about Aloha's life. I believe that. I believe it. I really do. And have you been sleeping? Did you manage to rest? No one is telling me about my mother. I want to hear from my mother. I want to take this opportunity to tell my mom that everything that's going to happen is the best possible way now. Aloha is going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here and everything will be fine. But it depends on the officers down there. They must not pull that shit again. I don't want anyone to come near this apartment. What if I open the door and there's just one of them waiting for me outside and shoots me? I know how they are. They're smart. I'm scared. No, Lindenberg. No. Don't be scared. Unfortunately, I just don't trust the police. You can be rest assured that the whole nation is praying for you too. Not just for her, but for you too. Everyone is worried about you, Lindenberg, because all the information we got is that you're a good person. So no one understands why you're putting yourself and this girl in this dangerous situation. But now that you've said that you wanted to talk to her and already did, and you've cleared things up, that's it. That's enough. You already got what you wanted, didn't you? I will put Aloha on the line for everyone to hear that she is okay. Okay. Hello? Hello, Aloha. This is Sonia Abro. Earlier today, you talked to Louise, our journalist. Now we're live. We were talking to Lindenberg right now, and I wanted you to tell us if you're okay. Lindenberg says now that you're more relaxed, you are cooperating. Did you eat lunch? Yes, I ate. And how are you? Your voice sounds better. And how is Lindenberg? He said that you already talked about the breakup. Is Lindenberg hearing us right now? Yes, he's hearing us. Does he know about his sister's message? What message? We heard it just now. We heard that his sister, Lindenberg's sister, Susie, said that if she could talk to Lindenberg right now, she would ask him to turn himself in as soon as possible because their mom and his other sisters are suffering a lot. She said that you two had always gotten along just fine. She said that she has nothing bad to say about him. He doesn't drink or smoke. She even thought that the two of you would eventually get back together. She told us that Lindenberg is the youngest of the siblings, only 22 years old, and he had dreams about getting married, having a family, owning a house one day. And she wants to talk to him if possible. She wants to put an end to this quickly because it's a lot of suffering, you know?
So it's like a lot of talking, but the message is unclear, right? It's not like moving this into like a solution. It's just a lot of like, oh my God, family, sister, mother. Like, is that what's happening? They just want to like create a story? Well, what's going on?
They want to create a story. The message is very unclear. And it's kind of crazy that even with the journalists, they have the opportunity to talk to the hostage. And just on a human to human level, okay, I understand that they're trying to do their jobs, right? And maybe their livelihoods are on the line. But on a human to human level, would you not want to know how the hostage is doing and ask questions about them or give them things that reassure them? But even in this opportunity, she's still talking about Lindenberg. Like, Aloha is nobody to anybody. That was one thing that a lot of netizens were upset with. Like, this whole conversation with Sonia, the fact that she's able to get Aloha on the phone, which hostage takers typically do not let you talk to hostages often. And you're still talking about, he had dreams of a family. It's like everything is painting Lindenberg to be a good person who did something bad.
Yeah, but I think that is trying not to triggering him to do more bad things, right?
Yes, but it actually backfired. Let me
Really?
tell you how. So all the press, they're going around painting Lindenberg as a 22-year-old star-crossed lover, correct? Now, a lot of the older general public, because they didn't know the outcome, they didn't know better, they didn't know the full story, they're just seeing little snippets on the news and what the hosts are telling them, they believed that is also true. The police said because of that, they could not be more aggressive with Lindenberg. Because it would backfire on them. Because if everybody has the perception that this is a young boy, they kept using the word boy in all the news stations, a young boy who just loves a girl and is having a breakdown and is going to regret this, and they shoot him on sight out the window, who's going to get fired?
Who's gonna get fired?
Yeah,
Wow.
so that's what the police argue later. So they're saying it was like this very toxic cycle of like nothing was getting done by anybody at this point because of how publicized it was in real time.
Yeah.
The police even asked the journalists, get all the footage you want, just air it when we resolve it. Like immediately after. Air everything, unedited, uncut, raw footage, whatever.
But there's nothing they can do to stop them.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre. Lindenberg takes the phone back. When Aloha gets out, she's going to take the 2 guns that I have and no ammunition, and I will come out with my hands up. If someone shoots me, no one's going to shoot you, for God's sake. Don't think that way. We want a happy ending to this story. And it's not just me. Everyone out there. The police have no intention of taking anyone's life. On the contrary, they have no reason to take your life, Lindenberg. Don't think like that. So you have family members of the hostages, press, journalists, camera crew trying to get better positioning near the building to get a slightly better shot. Gate hostage negotiation teams, tactical teams, local police departments, neighbors, just any other passerby that just wants to be there. Just a few floors down in an open space right underneath the building where a mad gunman is armed with 2 guns and a baggie of ammo. There's just no way that this is going to end well. And it doesn't. So whether it was for show or show proof of life or to get media attention on this case, Lindenberg would periodically force Aloha to wave out the window. He would use her head to cover his head so a sniper could not get a good shot. He would hold her in place by her neck with a gun pointed at her back. He would force her to stick her head out the window and wave. Sometimes it was a thumbs up. And it was almost always clear that her condition was degrading over time. It was getting worse. She looks bruised. She looks abused. She looks mentally exhausted. She looks emotionally traumatized to the fullest extent.
So you're saying hour 30 in, and
Yeah.
he's talking to these reporters saying that he's going to let her out and he's going to walk out. He doesn't want anything. There's no demands. That's it. But he's never doing it.
Yes, and a lot of speculation is because he really enjoyed the media coverage. He wanted more and more interviews. Actually, when he starts negotiating again with hostage negotiators is when journalists are kind of sick of the same interviews over and over. They want new information. They want new developments. They don't want to hear the same thing from him. That's when he starts going back to the negotiators. So it's just absolute chaos. It's just so messy. And Lindenberg is becoming increasingly unhinged. After hour 30, there were girls that were coming up to his window saying like, "We love bad boys, we love you." But then another group of girls saw that, got really upset, and they came next to the window and said, "You're a freaking monster and you deserve like punishment." He opened the window, stuck out his gun, and opened fire. He was irritated. Yeah, very irritated.
How is there like girls even allowed to go there? And why are they saying that? Like, I love bad boys.
So, okay, we did research into it, and I was thinking maybe it's and I'm going to mispronounce this word, okay? It's like hysterophilia. It's when serial killers have wives in prison. It's like there is an attraction to the dark criminals because you feel like they're going to kill other people, but they're not going to kill me. I'm different. I'm special. Something is not...
Yeah.
You know, it's not a normal feeling to have.
Maybe it's also the media coverage.
Yes. So I was debating, like, is it that? And I was trying to look into it and cross-reference, like, what they were saying with what a lot of these people feel in their symptoms, and it wasn't matching. So I think it's more so with the media coverage. They really marketed him as just, like, this boy that's so in love. And it's like, of course, every girl wants to have someone who's so in love with her.
Yeah.
So it really, the media marketing on this one is just foul. Fortunately, nobody got hurt, but things are quickly escalating. Lindenberg is opening fire on innocent people. I mean, it's truly mayhem. At this point, he just randomly decides to throw soccer team jerseys outside the window. Nobody knows why. There's shots fired. There are crowds cheering. There's girls screaming, "I love bad boys." It's chaos. The soccer coach for that team, that national team, shows up and is like, "Hey, can I help negotiate?" And they're like, I think we're okay. Like, it was just incredibly messy.
And it sounds like there's nobody's taking charge of this.
No. And Lindenberg's sister also arrives at the scene to try and talk to him. They brought an attorney to help negotiate for better conditions for Lindenberg if he gets arrested. They also tried to tell the press, "My brother is a very nice and calm person. He just got depressed after the breakup. I think he's making the biggest, dumbest mistake of his life, and she's not worth it. Nobody is. She's gonna get out of there, and his life is gonna be ruined."
She's not worth it?
Yeah. So everything is escalating out of control. The negotiators realize the biggest mistake that they have is that they can't see in the apartment. They can't get a clear view. The whole apartment is blocked. The windows, when they're not open, they're blocked. They can't get a camera in there. They can only call. Lindenberg picks up sometimes, and they hope that when he picks up, he wants to talk. He wants to tell them what's going on. Meanwhile, Lindenberg can see everything going on outside. He can see what the police are saying, what they're prepping, how they're stationed around their building, who they're investigating, what their strategy is, how they think. He can see what the public wants the authorities to do. Is it time to storm in? Do they want Lindenberg to be freed and given a slap on the wrist because he's just a boy in love? They can't see, but Lindenberg can see them. There's one easy way to fix that. Everyone has their cameras pointed up at the apartment, hoping to get another money shot of Aloha out the window. And then it goes dark. The power was shut off by gate agents. In most hostage situations, this is a tactic that is frequently used. It's just to make their lives more inconvenient, forces them to negotiate. And it's interesting, sometimes you take away something, give it back, but with enough mind games, you actually make the hostage taker feel like you're giving them something. But in reality, you took it away and you're just giving it back.
Yeah.
You're using it as, "I will give you this for that."
Yeah.
But they already had that. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's why they do that. But it seems like for this situation, they turned it off so that he can't watch the news. And Lindenberg is pissed. He calls turn the lights back on. I will, but let's talk. Turn the light on, otherwise I'll start hitting the girls. I'm going to start attacking these girls. The girls are going to suffer, and pay close attention. Aloha starts screaming in the background of the call, begging him to stop. Lindenberg is literally assaulting Aloha while on the phone with negotiators. Now, after the power goes out, Aloha's mom gets another call, this time from Aloha. She almost drops her phone trying to answer it as quickly as possible. Honey, are you okay? Mom, do you trust me? Of course I trust you. I always trusted you. So please, tell them to turn the power back on. Aloha's mom didn't know what to do or even what to say, because on one hand, she knows Aloha is in danger if she doesn't do anything. On the other hand, she knows that Lindenberg is forcing her to call her right now. If the power is back on, if he gets what he wants, is Aloha's mom helping prolong the situation? Is Aloha's mom helping him win? Before she can respond, her husband, Aloha's dad, grabs the phone and screams, "No, honey, they can't turn it back on. They can't." And the line goes dead. At the hour 32 mark, an exchange is made. An eye for an eye. Well, not entirely, but it's something. The negotiators will turn the lights back on, and Lindenberg will open the door to the apartment. Someone is seen running down the hallway to the stairs. The pacing gets faster and faster down the stairs and into the crowd of people surrounding that person outside. Her family surrounding her, smelling her hair, making sure it's her. They're scanning her entire body, looking for any serious wounds. Journalists are trying to squeeze through each other, trying to get the best angle, best shot. The police need to rush her to the hospital. Nayara was freed, meaning the only one left in the apartment now was Aloha with Lindenberg. Some saw it as a good sign. The two boys, Nayara, they're all out. Some say that means Aloha's gonna be out. Others said, no, he went in there for Aloha. That's what he went for to begin with. That's the only one he cared about when he took them hostage. His words in the beginning were, "I'm gonna kill her." 10 p.m., the lights turn back on. 11:30 p.m., the door opens. Nayara runs out of the complex. She is rushed to the hospital with minor injuries. She is processing a lot of trauma. The hostage negotiators talk to her for 6 hours after her release, and they just want to know everything. They want to be filled in for the past 34 hours. He kept the girls apart. Every day he would put one in the bedroom, one in the living room. They were both tied up, blindfolded. They couldn't see anything but the back of the blindfold. Throughout the day, Nayara would hear sounds of Lindenberg beating Aloha, and Aloha would scream for help. He was screaming at her, punching her, kicking her, and then it would stop, and in a split second, not even a full second, he would be like, "Please kiss me right now."
What?
He would go from beating Aloha to being like, "Can you kiss me?" But she kept denying him, and it got to the point Nayara, the best friend, just screamed, "Just do it, Aloha, please just kiss him, you're gonna die." But she refused. He was having severe mood swings. In the middle of a casual conversation with the girls, he would just start threatening them. But it's not like he was on or anything. He had a lack of sleep. He almost never slept. He would take sporadic cat naps, really light. Every morning he was oddly very full of energy. It just didn't make any sense. He was very erratic. Also, after he lets Nayara out, briefly, the news was talking about how the police stated it was in exchange for the power being turned back on. Literally an exchange of power. But Lindenberg really did not like that. He would call up the journalist and let it be known that is not why he let out Nayara. He said he let out Nayara because Nayara has a very bad relationship with her father. Her father had walked out on the family years ago, had no contact with any of his children. He found out that Nayara was being held hostage, so he drove all the way back into town and was waiting outside. And he thought perhaps they could be reunited. Perhaps this would teach Nayara's father what it means to be a good dad, to value your child. It's an experience of you didn't know what you had until you lost it. That is why he let her out. It's not for the power that he really desperately wanted to be turned back on. No, it was because he related to her story. He just wanted the family unit to be strong. He said, "My mom was my mom and my dad for me. I didn't grow up with my father, but there's still time for Nayara's father to mend their relationship." I looked at her and she was crying. So I told Nayara that I was going to give her a chance. I'm going to let her go and give her father a chance to be there for her. Just, bringing her into this world does not make you a father. A father has to care.
So these, they still want to be a hero.
Yeah, and the police are like, that's not true at all. And even the journalists are calling him out on it because they're like, and it didn't touch you when Aloha talked about her family on the phone and she said, Mom, I love you, Dad, I love you, don't worry about me, it'll be okay. At that moment, they're desperate too. That didn't touch you? Your sisters are desperate for you to be let out, none of that touches you? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So that's the narrative he's trying to push. They also ask him how the police are doing with him in negotiations, and he's just really upset. He feels like the police are constantly lying to him. Now, lying to a hostage taker as a negotiator is one of the worst things that you can do, even if it's unintentional. So the reason he feels like they're lying is because he told them nobody is allowed to approach the apartment. At one point, a police officer did approach the apartment. He was very upset about that. But according to Chris Voss, the FBI negotiator, he said, first of all, there is a chance that the hostage taker is a really good liar, a far better liar than you will ever be, and they will spot it right off the bat. Second, they could be luring you into a trap to test if you will lie to them. They already know the truth. They're testing to see if you're gonna lie. And third, even if you pull it off, chances are they're gonna find out before the situation has been resolved. And now, not only will this hostage taker not trust you, the next one won't either, because I'm sure they do their research, Your reputation is not going to be trusted. And if that happens, you lose. Are you the type of person that's always running around and you constantly forget to take breaks? I try to tell myself that I need to stop and smell the roses, and all I do is I end up taking one aggressively long sniff and then running on to the next task on my to-do list. But I know that taking breaks is good, so what I've been doing is I set a reminder on my phone to remind me every hour to take a sip of water. And that little habit helps me take a moment just to breathe, just to pause, and it also helps keep me hydrated, especially because my water is mixed with liquid IV. Listen, liquid IV hydrates faster than water alone because it has 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients with no sugar or artificial sweeteners. And you would never really believe that it has no sugar because all the flavors taste so good. This one right now is lemon lime. This is one of my favorites. I actually really like the white peach a lot. Something about it, it almost feels like a treat in a glass. It tastes so good. There is no sugary feeling. It just feels like a fruity drink. So whenever I'm filming podcasts or staying up late to do research, I always have liquid IV and my timer because that's like the only thing that'll remind me to stay hydrated. It's so good. I carry a few sticks with me whenever I'm traveling because the worst part about long plane rides, I think, is feeling so dehydrated afterwards. You can even see it on your skin. Your skin gets so dehydrated. Liquid IV is also great after a workout or after a long night out. However you hydrate, grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco or get 20% off your first order when you go to liquidiv.com and use code ROTTEN at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code ROTTEN at liquidiv.com. 8:30 a.m. the next day, Nayara almost screams when her grandma comes into her room to wake her up. The police want to talk to you. This is already after her 6-hour interview. Nayara hurries to get dressed. She rushes to the command center, which is just their school, and the gate agents surround her. Nayara's mom is there, and they're all really concerned. Like, what do the police even want from her at this point? What more can she provide? She already told them everything that she knows. We need you to go back in there.
What?
Nayara's mom's eyes are just like bulging out of her. Excuse me, this is a 15-year-old we're talking about that just went through something traumatic. What are you asking of her right now? This is the only way to save Aloha's life. But Nayara will be secure the whole time. She's not actually going back into the apartment. She's not going to be alone. Lindenberg personally requested Aloha's little brother Douglas as well. Lindenberg had told the negotiators that he was ready to turn himself in, and he was just really scared that he was going to get shot on sight the minute that he exited the door. He can't just use Aloha's body to shield him. It's not enough. So he wants Nayara to meet him at the front door. He's going to use both Nayara's body and Aloha's body to walk all the way down the steps, and because Aloha needs medical attention, he's going to throw Aloha on the ground and then use Douglas's body to shield him. Douglas and Nayara's. And then eventually, I guess the police will handcuff him. They don't need to shoot him to kill him, and everything will be okay. He will survive.
So he wants 2 more people, the brother and Nayara, to be back. Okay.
So the brother is to stand at the bottom of the staircase. Nayara is to go to the front door. Everyone is stationed, and we're ready to go. Nayara is 15. She has an emotional stuffed animal. And she is on the phone with Lindenberg while she is physically walking, putting one foot in front of the other, back to the place that she was just held hostage 12 hours ago.
Wow.
Hi, Nayara. Everything okay over there? Are you okay already? Yeah, I'm okay. Are you calm? Everything calm? Everything is okay. Are you gonna do what you said you're gonna do this time? Yes, I will. Do you trust me, Nayara? Yeah, I trust you. Lindenberg lets Nayara talk to Aloha to let her know that he's serious this time. Hi, love, how are you doing? Aloha says, are you gonna come up? Yeah, I will. I am at the front door soon. Don't let any of the police officers up, okay? Okay. No one, please.
Is Nayara calm and...
Yeah, she's calm.
That's crazy brave for her to do this.
Yeah. She doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
She could say, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how a 15-year-old can go back to a situation like this.
But she's calm. And she says, okay, well, let me speak to him now, love, because I'm at the front. Aloha reassures Nayara that everything will be okay. They tell each other that they love each other, and Nayara gets back on the phone with Lindenberg, and he is guiding her to the correct position he wants her to be in front of the front door. Come closer, please. I don't see you, Nayara. Come, please. To the left. Nayara is literally right in front of the front door. What do you mean he doesn't see her? Because that doesn't make sense. But before she can respond, the door swings open. Nayara could see how purple and bruised Aloha is. That's her first response, is she's purple all over. She tries not to look too shocked because she doesn't want to stress out Aloha. And before she can even register what happens next, she's brought back in. She's back in the apartment. In like 2 split seconds, he grabs her wrist, throws her back in the apartment, slams the door shut.
So he's not leaving.
No.
He just wanted her back.
On national TV in real time, Nayara's family watched her get kidnapped once more. Her grandmother fainted. The police made the judgment call to put Aloha's friend Nayara's life at risk. They took a gamble and they lost. They didn't even prep her on what to do in case something went wrong. They just trusted Lindenberg for whatever reason. He's calling the shots. He tells them what he wants. They do it without questioning it a single time. He's the one setting the rules. In situations like this, there's always the question of, well, when does it end? Which side gives up first? Because when does a negotiator decide to walk away? One former hostage negotiator said, when the bad guys feel like they've gotten everything they can, that's when it ends. And this feels like that. It is now approaching the 100-hour mark. So they just Nayara goes back in and they go quiet for a while. Nothing crazy happens. Well, I don't want to say nothing crazy. It's crazy, but in the sense of there's no new developments progressing them to a resolution.
Do you know what happened in there?
Yeah, so it's just back and forth. He would go from being crazy to beating Aloha to screaming at her to trying to talk to them in a nice, calm manner. They would be allowed to watch TV. Sometimes they would be allowed to sit next to each other, but it just was that on end. 100 hours is enough time to watch all 8 Harry Potter movies 5 times back to back. It was 100 hours of high stress, life or death, assault, mental manipulation, and threats for 100 hours straight. Aloha was starting to lose her mind. Aloha threw a plate. She was in the kitchen, and she threw a plate, and it shattered on the floor. And maybe it felt good. Lindenberg and Nayara, they both just stared at her. Not once did Aloha ever give in to Lindenberg this whole time. During their relationship, he had the power. He was 8 years older. She was a minor. He was gaslighting her, manipulating her, isolating her. And now she refused to give him what he wanted. She doesn't want to tell him that they're going to get back together. She would rather be beat than kiss him. She would rather scream and fight and smile out the window when she doesn't want to than give him what he wants. She aims the plate for him. It shatters on the ground and she starts grabbing random objects and throwing them on the ground. She does not care anymore that Lindenberg has a gun, and she screams, I can't do this anymore. If you're gonna kill me, just do it. Just kill me already. I can't do it anymore. Kill me, okay? I can't stand being here anymore. Lindenberg tries to calm her down because he knows that if the officers think that there's a violent struggle inside, they're gonna send in the tactical team and he'll probably get shot. But Aloha could not care less. She's over it. She's got nothing to lose. Lindenberg is red in the face. Do you want to see your friend dead? Aloha's still frantic. She's not calm, but a lot less angry. No, I don't want to see anyone dead. Just me. Just do it already. Lindenberg puts the gun to Nayara's head. He's been doing this to Aloha for the past 90 hours. He's bluffing. He's not going to shoot her. She knew it. So Aloha keeps screaming. She grabs another plate and then it shatters onto the ground and then slap. It's like a gut punch straight to Aloha's stomach. He slapped Nayara hard. This was the first time he was violent with someone other than Aloha.
Really? He didn't touch her the whole time. Wow.
Aloha froze and her eyes were fixed on Lindenberg. And she realized she had nothing to lose but her best friend. And she's not going to lose her best friend. October 17th, 2008, Friday. Aloha's mom gets a call from Lindenberg and she's begging him, please, please, please release my daughter. She loves you, so please. I'm not going to let her go. She will only get out of here dead. And I don't care anymore if she says she wants to come back to me. I don't believe her. Things were not looking good. That morning, Aloha and Nayara are sitting down on the mattress with him and he's going through even more intense mood swings. If earlier it was like every 10 minutes, now it's like every 2 minutes, a different tone, a different message, a different goal. At one point, he even just like, he's sitting there watching TV, zoning out, and his arm is resting next to him. The gun is in his hand. He lifts it up and just shoots through the wall. It goes straight into apartment 23, where the police are set up. And they just see a bullet, just thankfully it doesn't hit anyone, but they just see a hole in the wall. They see a bullet on the ground. Yeah, he's starting to lose it. And one of his last conversations with the negotiator was, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to come out just to go straight to prison, man. If I go to prison, I'm going to die there. It's like a little demon and a little angel are whispering in my ears right now. The demon is talking louder and he's telling me what to do. And that demon is going to make you very, very sad. That little demon is telling me to kill both the girls. Then listen to the angel. Isn't that better? I don't know what's better. A million things are going through my head right now. Or just break into the shit already. No, there's none of that. Okay, I guarantee you're not going to be harmed. Life continues. Life is beautiful. I want you to break in. I'm asking you to do it. So he's basically trying to die either by them or have that be the catalyst for what he is maybe too scared to do right now. And he says, a lot of people out there are just going to pay a lot. People will suffer. They're going to cry. I'm going to end this. Let people know that this is coming to an end, man. Everything that I have is nothing anymore. I don't have anything. Give me some time. I have to be alone right now. I don't want to see anyone. He hangs up. He drags the coffee table in front of the front door of the apartment and lies down on the mattress to sleep. And the two girls, they likely heard all of this and knew things are likely not going to end well. So they sat together on the couch, pulled a blanket over them, and watched TV together, side by side. Around 6:08 p.m., around the 100-hour mark, police stormed through the front door of the apartment. And side note, this is very controversial, but the police claimed that they only stormed the unit because they heard a gunshot go off. So they had to act fast. They said that they didn't have time to get someone to come in through the window simultaneously because that is the normal protocol for a hostage situation. You go in through all the entrances to disorient the hostage taker. It gives you so much more opportunity to disarm them, which, by the way, like the SWAT teams, they're trained to disarm a hostage taker in like less than a second or two. So this is all part of the training. They never just go through one entrance unless it's impossible. But most netizens and press and even the victims will argue there was no gunshot. Because the police are arguing we didn't go through the window because we had to act fast. There was a gunshot sounding off. But everyone said there was no gunshot. In fact, the police were the noisiest. They blew open the entire apartment door with a tactical bomb. It's purposefully loud and bright to startle, disarm, and momentarily blind the perpetrator. So they run in, they're going to tackle him, but they're stuck. The bomb did not get through the coffee table that was pushed up against the door, so they have to go through that. And that was enough time for Lindenberg to turn to the two girls and open fire. He shot the girls. The authorities finally came and they shot Lindenberg with rubber bullets. While the hostages were shot with real bullets, the police used rubber bullets so that they could preserve his life. The intent was to incapacitate, not kill the hostage taker. It is alleged, though, that the authorities were pretty rough with Lindenberg. When they did finally get him to the ground to handcuff him, it said that they were just really jumping him at that point. Neighbors and press had to intervene, screaming at the police, don't kill him, don't kill him. And oh my God, what's going on? Because they were just like taking out their frustration on him is what it seems like. The journalists downstairs, they start fully freaking out. Most of them are on air telling the public that the hostage taker had agreed to turn himself in. Literally, while in the middle of that sentence, they hear that boom, the break-in happens, everything goes dark, there's ambulances rushing to the scene. It was... I don't know what the press were thinking. I don't know if they genuinely believed the whole idea that they were selling, that there was going to be a wedding of the century after this, but 2 bloody bodies were rushed out of the apartment and taken directly to the hospital. Nayara had blood just pouring out of her face like a sink faucet. Meanwhile, Aloha is being carried by a police officer, and when he accidentally bumps into a medic, with a white coat on, his whole coat turns blood red. She was also bleeding from the head, profusely. There are journalists trying to run after the ambulances, trying to stick their cameras right up against the ambulance windows. They really look like vultures. It's unsettling. They tried to race the victims to the hospital just so that they could get the best shots. Both girls were taken to the operating room to have surgery. Nayara was shot in the face near her jaw. A bullet was lodged in her jaw, and Aloha was shot in her private area and her head. The bullet had gone through Aloha's brain, and it said that she went through 3 hours of surgery, but they could not remove the bullet. But even if they could, the damage to the brain was extensive. Neurological damage was, in this case, irreversible. Aloha was placed into a coma, and she was brain dead. Unable to breathe without life support, no chance of recovery. Aloha had passed. And the last memories of Aloha her family had were of her leaning out the window of the family apartment crying and trying to give her family a thumbs up so that they don't worry. And it was just not the last memory that they ever wanted of her. And this doesn't make it any better that she passed. The doctors approach Aloha's mom and they ask if she wants to donate Aloha's organs. And Anna did not want that. Not after everything Aloha had already gone through for the past 100 hours. No, we don't get to break her apart even more. But Douglas would tug on her little sleeve and tell her, "Mom, that's what Aloha would have wanted." And so the last memory that they have of Aloha now is in her very last moments, she tried her best to save her best friend Nayara, and ultimately she would save 5 people with 7 organs. Her heart, lungs, pancreas, liver, and kidneys. Nayara would make a full recovery. One of the biggest pickles netizens had with GATE, the police, during this operation, actually there's a lot, starting with not forcibly securing the perimeter and not forcing the journalists out, but also Nayara being sent back. In response to that, one officer went to a journalist and said, "I have 3 sons, and I thought of Nayara as my son, and I would put my son in her place." See, it's a decision that only the ones who were there could make. I just ask that you respect the professional skills and ability of the team that was there. An operation always has risk. GATE had previously conducted many successful outcomes of hostage crises. The bad outcome of this one was not because of GATE's actions, but Lindenberg's. GATE didn't kill anyone. We did everything to not put those 3 lives at risk. Furthermore, another good question was brought up, which is, why did they not shoot to kill Lindenberg when Aloha gave them the chance at the window? When asked about that, a police officer would say, "We could have shot him, but he was a 22-year-old boy with no criminal record going through a love crisis. If we shot him, you would be questioning me right now for why we didn't try to negotiate more. Why shoot a 22-year-old boy who is doing something that he's going to regret for the rest of his life anyway?" Another officer just bluntly stated that they were under direct orders from the governor to protect the victim and the perpetrator. Because again, the thing with the governor, a lot of netizens suspect because they're elected, the public, the press, the media, they're all kind of pumping out this message that he's a lover boy. So maybe they feel scared it's going to backfire on them if they kill lover boy. Also, nobody believes that there were gunshots before the agents stormed in. So that was a really bad break-in of a hostage situation. There was footage from around that time. It was analyzed. There were only gunshots after the authorities broke in that door. Also, why did it take them a whole 15 seconds to get the coffee table from blocking the door? It's just too much time. It's kind of ridiculous. To that, a GATE agent was just like, "You don't know because you've never been there, but if this had gone successfully, you would be praising us right now." Which is a very odd response. It's just kind of weird. But GATE, they ultimately blamed the media. They claimed that Lindenberg had actually made a deal to come back in before any of his exclusive interviews with journalists. He made a deal that he was going to come out with all the hostages. And then after his interviews, he seemed to want to talk to the negotiators less and want to talk to the journalists more. And he got spiraled away into that. He got swept away into becoming this main character in the news. That's why a lot of people think that he would do these crazy things like shoot open fire at the crowd, because it's not like he hit anyone ever. It doesn't ever seem like he's intentionally trying to kill the crowd. I mean, it's clear that he's homicidal, but it doesn't seem like he was trying to kill someone in the crowd per se. It just seems like he's doing it to get attention and to reignite people's obsession with the case. Some people didn't even blame mainstream media. They just blamed the individual journalists working on the case, Sonia being one of the main ones. And she just said, at no time did I act wrong. I would do it all over again, just the way we did it. The cruel thing is to want to push the blame for the tragedy to us. Her murder happened 3 days after my conversation with Lindenberg. It had nothing to do with us at all. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of media outlets were fined by the government for obstructing official police work, and it was just like a tiny little slap on the wrist, and nothing else happened. Oh, also, one deputy officer, side note, was quoted because he went to go search or like go through the crime scene afterwards and go through all of the different things that were going on in the rooms in the apartment, and he wrote in his report that the two girls, Aloha and Nayara, were not concerned with the tidiness of the house, meaning that there were dishes in the sink.
What?
Basically, he's insinuating that even if you're being held hostage, if you're a girl, you should at least still care about keeping the house tidy. Like, he did not say the house is messy. He did not say that the house was in disarray. He said they were not concerned with the tidiness of the house, Nayara and Aloha.
What?
Yeah.
And people are pissed about that.
So mad. So mad.
Yeah.
So mad, yeah.
Yeah, what is that language?
What is that thought process even?
Yeah.
I would just write dishes in the sink because that's what I
Yeah.
see. No one asked for your opinion like that. That's crazy. When Lindenberg was first taken to the police station, he had the audacity to keep asking for Aloha. He said, and I quote, "I want her here beside me." He shot her twice, aiming for her head and her private parts. He told authorities the only motive for his crime was that he wanted to spend as much time as possible with Aloha. He said, "I just wanted to enjoy every minute with her by my side." He reassured everyone he never did anything sexual with her. He said, and I quote, "Only kisses on my cheek." During the trial, his defense attorney argued that Lindenberg should be charged with manslaughter instead of first-degree murder because if the police did not scare him so much with that door bomb, he would have never shot the girls. The defense attorney would also tell the jury, "Lindenberg is not a criminal. You jurors are good people just like Lindenberg. I ask that you see him as a brother, a father, a friend. He's not a criminal. He confessed that he shot Aloha. Lindenberg was in love with Aloha. She was the great and only love of his life, so much so that in prison right now he does not receive intimate visits because he doesn't want to have any other woman except Aloha. Lindenberg suffers for Aloha's death." I don't know. His defense attorney was crazy. She at one point straight up told the judge that the judge needs to go back to school because you don't know what you're talking about. Aloha's mom remembers seeing Lindenberg during the trial, and he had looked at her and Douglas multiple times and laughed like he was mocking them. It was like, yeah, and so what are you going to do about it? That kind of smirk. He was sentenced to 98 years and 10 months in prison. He was found guilty. But it's not that simple because right now he's allowed out for work. He has work leave, work permissions, and he also gets 1 day subtracted from his sentence when he works 3 days outside the prison. So he gets a little bit of freedom and less time on his sentence. A memorial service was held for Aloha. 30,000 people, many of them strangers, showed up to support Aloha's family. As for Nayara, she had to have many surgeries, was not able to make it to the funeral, but she visits Aloha on her own. She was interviewed about her decision to go back, and obviously, you know, technically she admits she didn't know that she was going to be held hostage again, and maybe that'd be a different conversation, but maybe not. She said, even knowing everything that's happened, she would do it all over again. Yeah. Aloha's mom said to Aloha in a moving speech, in a moving interview, "I'm sure that someday we'll meet again. I keep on my path because of that certainty. I know that anywhere you are okay, and I will walk in your direction until we finally meet again." And that is the case of the longest hostage crisis in Brazil, and it was basically live streamed. Who do you think has, because this is a conversation with netizens that they have, and I just want you guys to know that Brazilians are very upset with this case. It's who has the most blood on their hands? I mean, obviously Lindenberg, but would you say that one or two journalists? Is it mainstream media? Is it the police? Is it a combination of everyone? Let me know in the comments. Please stay safe, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Bye.